I guess this is where I'm supposed to talk now. And hello, welcome to twitch.tv/go_JG, Jess's channel, who has been very kind enough to host us and to be running these streams for charity. We are raising funds for Extra Life, which donates funds directly to children's hospitals. And so far, we have raised $269 is my last update. So it's very nice of Jess to have raised so much money. And we are here to play a little game called Back to the Woods We Go. We've got a secret updated rules, very, very fresh, hot out the oven, already getting criticized by other players. And it's, we are playing, this is a game by Viditya Valetti. You can find his games at itch.io/Viditya Valetti, or you can instead give me money instead of him at places, which I will let you figure out. But you can, we are playing a Among Us scenario because that's the hot shit right now, and that's all I'm thinking about. If you don't know me, unfortunately, I am not Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. I'm not AOC. I'm just Kevin. I'm just best-selling author Kevin Tien Wulong Win, king of failed Kickstarter stretch goals. And you can now meet all the rest of my lovely players who are joining us to play the tiny beans in our Among Us scenario. Let's get started going by the Twitch order. Let me find out which of my million tabs that is on. To my right, stage right, is my friend JR.
Hey everybody, I'm JR. My pronouns are he, him. I am a tiny bean.
And below JR, we have Robin.
Hi, my name is Robin. They, them pronouns, and since I don't have a sparkly purple leotard like my character, I'm wearing my Letterman jacket from high school just to see if it still fits from 25 years ago.
And
a bean in a jacket.
Bean in a jacket. Tiny beans in big jackets. And I apologize, I forgot my pronouns are he, him. And below Robin, we have our new friend, Sarah.
Hello, I'm Sarah B. My pronouns are she, they, and I am a very long bean in a TARDIS hoodie.
And staged left of Sarah is our friend Alex.
Hello, my name is Alex. My pronouns are she, they. I am probably a medium-sized bean, and I have corgis on my shirt.
And stage up from them is my friend Rue.
Hello everyone, I'm Rue. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the perfect baby angel bean that can do no wrong.
And that is us as the players. Now let us meet each of these real beans. Let's meet their fictional beans, their fictional tiny beans, going back to my friend in the pink.
Hello, yes, I am Dr. Chartreuse Blue. I am very interested in space and the supernatural. I wear pink, naturally. I have been on this station for many years. My pronouns are they, them.
What do you specialize in, Dr. Blue, in the pink?
Space. I'm a doctor of space.
I see. And let's hear about our tiny purple bean.
My name's Marina. Woo! And I am looking forward to finding out what is happening because I keep hearing rattling in the vents, and I keep thinking, I bet you it's something supernatural because that's one of my interests. But I figure, since I'm also into fitness, it'll be a good chance to do some good core training, probably climbing through some vents, doing some army crawls. So that's what I'm all about.
Okay. and let us hear about our being in the dark blue.
Hey, I'm Reed. I'm the IT guy on this ship. I don't know what they did to all of the wiring around here, but I'm trying to fix it. And people keep like coming up and creeping behind me while I'm doing things, and that makes me very uncomfortable.
And our little orange bean.
Hey there, my name's Louie. I'm the janitor. I really just push stuff around all the time, you know. I really like drama. When I'm pushing stuff around, I like to listen to my headphones and do the monologues and then do like 50 push-ups, just to keep it going. I don't really know what everyone's talking about. Things seems pretty normal to me, but I guess we'll see what's going on. My pronouns are also he and they. Thanks.
Forgot to say, mine are also he and they.
I forgot to say mine are she and her.
Perfect.
We're doing
And-
great.
You're doing, yeah.
We're here.
And our cyan bean, or the teal bean, or is it a sky blue bean?
I contain multitudes. Hi, I am Sian. My pronouns are they, she. I am the resident fitness history buff. I'm a runner and a rock climber, so if there is something spooky going on here, I will be able to run away from it. I hope all of you have been doing the running training that I've been emailing everyone about.
You know it.
Those went to my
Every
spam,
morning
I
and
think.
every night. Yeah.
What's spam?
I'll show you how to set it up.
And these are the adventures of the crew of the space station Adventure. has been decided. Capital V, capital E, capital N, capital T in Adventure. And so now that our crew has known each other for quite some time. They've had lots of highs and lows. It's been a roller coaster of a time on their sort of their contract here on the space station Adventure. And in that time, they have grown to both trust and distrust one another for various reasons, either valid or invalid. That's up to them. Let us go through in the game. Each character is going to trust one other character and distrust one other character as they see fit. Doctor, who do you trust and who do you trust?
Yeah, I feel like I can really trust Louis. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
I do. Please don't.
All right.
All right.
I will make a note of that. Louis. I
Louis. Yeah.
trust the janitor. Always trust a person who keeps everything clean and does push-ups. It's a good person to know. Good person
Every
to
day.
trust.
Every day. Yeah.
And who has caught your ire, dear
Oh,
doctor?
well, if you ask me, anyone who goes around wearing bear ears is always up to no good.
Oh, I could have swore I saw the doctor wearing some barriers before, but... And Marina, who do you trust?
I'm sorry. This is Robin, not Marina.
Yeah.
I will get everybody's names, but it's going to take me a couple of seconds just because
Okay.
I'm going to have to memorize all of them. But I trust. I think it is my workout buddy. Whose
Sounds
name
like
I have. Cyan. Is that right?
Could be Louis or it could be Cyan.
Cyan.
Or
It's,
Cyan.
You're both fitness people. Yeah.
because Cyan does the same kind of, cardio, running, rock
There you go,
climbing,
yeah.
workout
Heck yeah.
than I do. So that's who I trust, and I don't trust
Yeah, who do you
the
gossip
doctor.
about? You don't trust the doctor.
I don't trust the doctor.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust me either.
He says he's interested in the supernatural, but he doesn't know anything about Sookie Stackhouse, doesn't know anything about Edward, doesn't know anything about Rachel Morgan, so I don't know how I can trust him.
Yes, I also know about all of these things. And Reed, who do you trust among the crew?
I trust the doctor. Both got our training and our work. And I distrust Louis. He keeps coming up behind me while I'm working on wiring, and that's creeping me out.
It's because your posture is wrong. You're gonna end up with back problems if you keep just hunching over like that. I'm just trying to help you, but it's fine. It's fine, whatever.
I already got back problems.
Whatever works for you, kid. Whatever works for you.
And Louis, speaking of, who do you trust among the crew?
I definitely trust Cyan. It's just, we run every morning together. It's hard to, when you run and you sweat with someone, there's just a trust built there. The doctor kind of weirds me out, though. Nothing personal. It's just their whole thing kind of a little distrustful. But yeah, that's where I stand.
Okay. And Cian, who do you trust among the crew?
I trust Reed because they always help me with all my computer problems. I don't know why it's always breaking down. I click all the links that say to click on them. But anyway, and I distrust Louis because they're faster than me, and I can't trust people that are faster than me. What are they running from?
And there we have both our circles of trust and mistrust. You should note down who you trust and who you do not trust somewhere. Those will be mechanically relevant at some point. And as we get into it, y'all, I think one of you saw Dr. Tishian, who insists on calling themselves a doctor, but has like a doctorate in communications. And they were the communications officer. You saw them walk around a corner, and then suddenly they were gone, and then suddenly there was a drip of red fluid from one of the vents, and you're pretty sure it wasn't any kind of lubricant. Who of you witnessed this event of Dr. Tishian disappearing?
I mean, I probably did. I'm like always around, kind of in a not creepy way. Yeah.
And Dr. Tishian, of course, also in an orange jumpsuit. You have some sort of camaraderie between yourselves, and of course you would notice another orange disappearing.
Did you say that Dr. Tishian is still communications or not anymore?
It would seem as if Dr. Tishian is no longer in communique with the rest of the group or the crew.
Where did he go? Oh. He said there's red stuff left behind.
Yeah, you just see a single little red droplet that fell down from the vent above.
Can more than one of us have seen this, or is it just the one?
I mean, you could we could say if Sian would like to have approached and seen Louis just standing there, quietly in the hallway, not sweeping.
Yeah, Sian saw it. She was in a vent because she just likes to climb in vents and run around. It's good training. That's what Marina says. So she just saw through she was gonna pop out and surprise Louis, and yeah, she saw them just standing there.
Oh, I see. And Louis, do you think Louis would notice Cian up in the vent, Alex?
No, I don't. No. I think maybe on a normal day, but he's just staring at this red blood. He's just, or maybe it's not blood. I don't know. He's just like, oh God, is it blood? Is it paint? I don't even know. Oh God, I gotta taste it. I don't
know. Hey, have any of you seen Dr. Tishian?
He was here a minute ago. Can somebody taste this? I don't know what it is. Please.
I feel like tasting unknown substances is not the best way of going about this. Where's Dr. Blue? Isn't this supposed to be their thing?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Tasting things?
Well, maybe not. Well,
Now we lost our taste tester. There's nothing we can do. All right.
Speaking of, we get a star wipe transition, the great PowerPoint style star wipe. And where is Dr. Blue currently?
Currently in the laboratory.
What are you working on in the laboratory, Dr. Blue?
From a distance, sampling, but it's not the kind of sampling you think. I am copying digital files and rearranging them into a very cool remixed sound. I am very into my own kind of, I like to push the concept of music. So right now what I'm doing is I'm taking a vocoder and having it sort of do synth instrumentations of contrasting voice tracks of Gabriel Gundacker's Coinstar monologue.
I think
Space gets to you, you know, you have to have something to keep you sane. You have to have something to keep you focused.
Sorry, what gets to you?
Space.
Space?
Space.
Space. Okay.
Space.
Space.
Nothing but the void out there beyond the walls. You know, nothing but cold and death. Anyway,
as you're looking out the port window, as you're looking out the port window, spacing out, so to speak, listening to your new track, I think you get a tap on the shoulder from and you see behind you Counselor Simmons. She's like my apologies, Doctor. I noticed you were working on another piece. Well, how soon till it's ready?
Oh, at least another 6 months. This one needs to marinate.
Of course. We can't rush the process. Of course, I understand. Well, I was just wondering, you haven't happened to have seen Marina lately, have you?
I haven't seen anybody in a while. I've been here working on my samples.
Right, you were just here by yourself working on the samples?
Yes.
Understood. Okay. Well, I'll leave you to.
I mean, you could use the communicators, you know.
It doesn't. The communicator. They don't seem to be working.
How odd. We'll have to call Reed.
I mean, you've been here by yourself. You wouldn't know where they are, would you?
No, but I suppose we can go look.
Yes, of course. Let's, please.
All right, hold on 1 second. Pause.
And we watch them walking shoulder to shoulder down the hallway.
You see, he was going to Coinstar this one time, and so...
I think it's sometime later, like probably a meeting has been called of the space station crew, of the adventure crew. And you are meeting in the cafeteria, and let me see, what name did I give them? Security Chief Sierra is standing on one of the tables, looking very stern. She's got this very hard face. I probably cast her as Vin Diesel's like girlfriend in all the Fast and Furious movies. I cannot remember the actress's name for some reason, but that actress is probably who I would imagine as Security Chief Sierra. She's standing up on one of these tables, arms crossed, looking at everybody very, very calculating, suspiciously, and waits for everybody to arrive. Who of you is the last person to arrive to this emergency meeting?
Probably me. Okay, what is going on? I was almost done rewiring the stupid panel in admin again. Who keeps messing with my wiring?
They're very dirty. I gotta clean them.
You have
But I
to
won't.
disconnect. Yeah, please don't disconnect my wiring, my dude. Please.
All right. Sorry, my bad. They were pretty gross.
Oh God.
Whatever you need. Sorry, I'm just here to help.
Wait, did you strip them too? Is that what happened there?
Yes.
Okay.
I did a lot
Alright.
of things otherwise, and I now realize that was a mistake, and I apologize.
I appreciate your apology. All right, what's going on? I really need to get back to that so I can maybe then go get the communicators back on.
As like the murmur of the crew asking what's going on like dies down, Michelle Rodriguez is the actress I've been informed, and sort of who is playing Security Chief Sierra. Her Security Chief Sierra sort of stomps her boot on the table twice very loudly to get everybody's attention, even though it's already calming down. And she very boldly says, several of the crew have gone missing. And then she starts reading off a list of names, and she sort of like looks over into this young person in all white, and you all know this person to be Eve. She is the assigned android on the station. She seems to be assisting Security Chief Sierra in this moment at reminding her of all the names. Those of you who might be most aware notice a lot of the folks that usually are in orange jumpsuits and spacesuits tend to be the ones listed off. About 5 or 6 people have gone missing at this point. And Security Chief Sierra says, well, they can't have just walked away. So who saw them last?
Cian raises her hand and is like, are you sure they're not just playing a really good game of hide and seek? Because I've seen them hiding. They're very good at it. I found a couple of them in the vent a few weeks ago. They were alive, though.
Sierra starts like, you're not supposed to be in the vent. And then Eve cuts off. She says, well, we don't seem to be able to find them on any of the door records any longer, and we don't seem to have seen them for at least 2 days on the security feeds.
Right.
Did they all disappear at the same time?
The last record we have of, let's see, of xenobiologist Welker having been using one of the doors on the station was about this morning at about, 9 a.m. in the medical bay.
9 a.m. which time zone? Local time? Probably local time.
Jupiter Central, non-daylight savings.
Yesterday he came in and requisitioned a bunch of beakers.
Sierra's like, beakers? What would they need with beakers? Dr. Blue, you work in the lab with Welker. When's the last time you saw Welker?
I suppose a day ago. We were talking about how he hadn't seen his intern Kevin for some time, and he had seemed to be concerned about one of those, those human problems. Like someone you're missing and you're concerned about them. You
homesickness?
I think that's the one, yeah. He was talking about home.
Doctor, do you want to like hang out sometime? Do you need like a buddy?
Oh, I definitely, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make room for that at some point.
Marina just rolls her eyes, but tries to hide it.
Just need a whole circle.
And everyone needs a friend sometimes, I think the work's driving me to focus too much on it, not enough on the people around me. Apparently, so many people have been missing, and we've not. No one's noticed. So there's obviously one or two solutions. Either everyone has finally realized that there's no holding back the inevitable heat deaths of the universe, and decided to go into space where they can be at peace with it ahead of time, or some terrible tragedies befallen them. Since nothing is acting up on the ship-wide sensors, there's no like disaster. I think it's safe to assume that some kind of foul play is happening here.
Maybe there's a ghost.
Could be a ghost.
Ghost?
Space ghost.
Ghosts usually show up when somebody already died, though. So, has anyone died on the ship already?
Ghosts, you know what? I mean, everyone dies in space all the time. We could be in a graveyard of ancient life, as far as we know. You know,
There could be space ghosts from coast to coast of this universe.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a finite but boundless. Like it's like a there's like no. It's a boundless universe, but it's got a finite shape, so doesn't really have coasts.
Mm.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out sometime, Doc. For sure. Real quick, Doc, you were I don't know, doing whatever you've been doing all day, like alone. You haven't left
Until came and said to come and look for. Oh yeah, Reed. Simmons is looking for you. Hey Simmons, you're sitting right next to Reed. I found them.
Hi.
Thank you, dear doctor. Yes, we had noticed that the communications weren't working this morning, and Sierra's like, yes, that too. We noticed that the mics weren't working anymore. Reed, why aren't you doing your job?
I wondered why I wasn't getting pings. I thought it was something to do with the wiring going out again. Yeah. Look, I'll do it once I've taken care of the last bit of wiring in admin. I'll be right on it.
And, what was the name of this person that I gave?
I give a look at Louis like, you're in trouble.
Administrator Rojas sort of stands up on the seat of this table and says, Reed, if you could please link up with Dr. Tishan and work on the communications. We desperately need those. We do have we are expecting another shipment of supplies to come in. If we cannot communicate them, we cannot relay which docks will be free for them to port with, and it could cause some catastrophic failure, and that would be bad for all of us.
Everybody on the ship is here, though, right?
Yeah, I was looking for Dr. Tishan. He requisitioned some equipment too.
Yeah, they're gone. They're not here.
What? Hey, and Sierra sort of gets off the table, starts talking to Eve, and then they start muttering to each other. And Security Chief Sierra says, I am declaring a state of emergency on the ESS Adventure, and everyone is going to be cordoned to their rooms. If everybody could please return to their rooms quietly.
Do you want the
quietly.
comms working or not?
Sorry,
We will.
does this include maintenance? Because
Yes,
you gotta just let
everyone.
the mess. All right, live in your own filth. That's fine, I guess. Yeah.
I'm fixing the comms first.
Yeah, sorry again about the wires. I'll make it up to you.
You do not make it up to me. Just don't touch the wiring. Just don't.
Oh, not even ever.
No, I can
Okay.
clean the wiring.
If
it's dirty, I appreciate you. Don't touch my wires.
Understood. I found the boundaries and crossed it. Didn't mean to. I'll step back. You got it.
Thank you. Did you mess with the comms? Was that you too?
No, actually, that wasn't me. I don't know who
Okay.
did it, but this time it wasn't me.
I'm keeping my eye on you, Louis.
Okay. He flexes.
Just
No, I'm sorry, I misread.
little muscle in Reed's eye twitches.
Ian gives a thumbs up from behind Reed.
Is anybody else joining Reed and Louis to go fix the wiring of the comms?
Oh, Cian joins just because she wants to not be alone. They're also like, I can help with wires. They just have like a box of just like anonymous wires that are just
Anonymous wires.
Where did you get these?
Oh, I've been collecting these for a while I've been on the space station.
Is that where my scraps have gone? Oh
Oh
my god.
She like turns the box and it says "read scraps of wires" on it. Is that what this sign was about? I just thought you like writing your name on things.
Yep, that's, yeah. Sure, you can come bring my scraps and help me fix comms.
Question: how many
Yes.
people are on this space base?
I would say maybe about there were maybe 24.
Okay.
And at as of now, there's like maybe with the missing people, there's maybe let's say 15, 16.
Okay. So like Marina would know everybody on the base, like identifiably
it's a very
who's
small
not there.
base.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's actually going to go before she goes back to her quarters. She's going to go to since somebody misunderstood and thought we were still going to be playing teens in space. I've decided that Marina is in requisitions, and she is going to go and check out to see how many of the people that have disappeared were people that requisitioned equipment of various kinds in the last couple days.
Perfect. And Doctor, where are you going just for?
I am sneaking out of my room through the vents to try and locate these missing people because I'm an adventurous doctor.
Okay, so you are going to your room and seeking out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we will do is first we'll follow Marina, who is going to go. It sounds like you're going to administration. It sounds like you're going to go look at the records of like who requisitioned what.
Yeah.
And you're going up there. And let me, as they say in games, see about engaging the mechanics here. This is the daytime phase, and during the daytime phase, this is when y'all, as the main characters, are trying to gear up, investigate suspects and find answers, or learn clues to find weaknesses. It sounds like you're looking for a clue, and let's see. You are going to roll. You start with rolling 1d6, and then you add another d6 if any of your interests are relevant, if you're going to spend one of your drive, or you have a helpful item that you're going to use.
So I'm adventurous. Is this on the trail? Does that count or not?
How do you think you'd be? How do you think you investigating the requisition records would be adventurous?
Because I'm trying to figure out this mystery, and also I'm not going back to my quarters.
I think. Let me see. I believe that might be more. If you're not going back to your quarters, I think that would have been more troublemaker than adventurous. So I think you do. Do you have any gear that might be relevant?
I doubt it.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be rolling 1d6.
I got a 6.
Perfect. You succeed. Is there any specific types of requisitions that you're looking for? Any certain materials or any individuals you're looking out for their names?
I'm looking out for the names of people that seem to have disappeared. People in particular, and like what percentage of those people seem to have been people who requisitioned equipment, and then what kind of equipment they would have requisitioned to see if there's any pattern.
Great. So you do see a couple of the names mentioned. One of the names that you were given, xenobiologist Welker. They had, as you have said, they did requisition a collection of beakers and flasks to conduct experiments with, as scientists do, which I am not one. So imagine all the science stuff that they would be requisitioning, among which you do notice a couple like sort of dangerous chemicals, some chemicals that are like sort of that Scientist Walker would have had to get permission from the head administrator, Rojas, to get a hand on, and you also see Dr. Tishin had requisitioned a couple new knives to be delivered on the next dropship, because as you know, Dr. Tishin is quite fond of cooking, and
Okay.
why they need replacement knives you wouldn't understand, because they seemed, as far as you understood and as far as everybody understood, they were very particular about their knives. They really did not want anybody touching their knives. They saw their knives in the dishwasher once and just lost it. They went to everybody and want to know exactly who did it so they could just ream them out.
All right. I think, especially with the knife thing, I'm going to take a circuitous route back to my quarters and try to go to where we were all gathered just before.
Wonderful. And I believe you let us follow our three companions, Reed, Louis, and Sion. You are going to electrical, it sounds like, to fix some wires with all your spare wires. Reed, you no longer have to struggle to connect these long, disparate wires. Now you have enough spare to connect with the mystery wires.
And do you see how clean they are now? I mean, I know it ruined everything, but they shine and sparkle.
Yep, that's great. And Reed just like takes out these disgusting needle nose pliers and starts like sticking them in and like putting everything back together.
Please bring this to my office at some point. These need to be cleaned.
Nah, bad juju.
Oh no, okay, it's fine. Whatever. You do. Yeah, okay.
Alright, where is that communication panel? There it is. Alright.
Let's see.
Okay, no. Louis, did you cut the wires?
No.
Right. Okay. That's
That
not
would
good.
be dumb. Yeah.
Sian
Somebody else cut the wires?
had pieces of like small wires, and she just like hides them behind your back.
Alright. So would this count as like a gear up roll, or am I just doing this?
Let's dig into what you're trying to do here. Are you trying to get something out of it? Are you trying to find more information? Are you trying to find some materials, some equipment? Are you trying
I'm trying to like get the communications back up so that we can be like talking back and forth when we're in different parts of the ship.
Gotcha. Let's see. I think you're trying to do scenes. I need these. Take the highest result when we act in line with quality metrics. You know what? I think. What are your qualities?
I am empathetic, but tech is one of my interests.
Right. No, I think you're just able to fix it. It's simple enough. It's just the wires are cut, so you're able to get that fixed, and you hear like the wiring come back on. It was just simply a sort of somebody severed the power connections to the main antenna.
Okay, and then I do kind of want to roll to see if I can like see any clues about it.
Yeah.
And
if you
see if I could figure out who did it or anything like that.
Perfect. So you are gonna roll. You have 1d6, and do you have any qualities or gear that you think would be relevant or interests?
I have a flashlight, and tech is still one of my interests. So I don't know if I'd be able to like tell like, oh, maybe this is how a wire got severed. Like what kind of instrument would do a certain type of cut, if it's a utility knife or a kitchen knife.
Okay. I think so. Yeah, I think you can stretch that. You could reach for that. So you get another d6. So you're rolling 2d6.
All right. I have to remember how to roll in Roll20 because I haven't done that in a second.
The macro is /R space the number of d6 and the letter D as in David and the number 6.
All right. Whoa!
Hey!
That is double sixes, y'all.
That is double sixes, and on top of your interests. Let's see. Let us look at the rolls. When you roll a 6 or higher, you succeed. So I think you are able to tell that it did seem like the wires were sawed. Like it doesn't look like it was snipped. You don't see like the pinch on whatever it's called, the skin of the wire. I don't know. I'm not a
Insulation.
insulation. Thank you. And you do see the wires are like frayed a bit, so it was like a one-way sort of sawing motion on this one, and you do see a couple others were sort of cut around it, so it was a pretty big utensil, you imagine.
Okay. And then since... Oh no, it's any 3 matching numbers. Okay. So, don't get to do that. Oh well.
Oh. And if everybody could go over to the Roll20 real quick and move their tokens onto the outermost ring of the map. And I will move Marina's over for them. And let's see. For those in Twitch chat looking at the map on our Roll20, this is, while this may look like a bullseye directed at the players, it is not. This is simply a map in which we track the tension of the sort of 2 phases of play. The top above the horizon is the daytime, so to speak, or the investigative phase of play, and as players sort of become a little bit more wary, a little bit more suspicious of each other, a little bit more erratic, they do descend into themselves and become more withdrawn. And once we go to the nighttime phase, we go below the horizon as the metaphorical sun goes down, and the players will want to go towards the center where the truth is, to find the truth of the matter and to find the imposters. So right now they're on the outermost layer of this onion of sanity and belief and trust, and in which they are pretty confident. They're not too wary. They're at neutral trust with one another. All right, let's see. So you do have a hint that it was some sort of non-wire specific cutting implement. This is not a tool designed for that, and it's like a couple different things. So you probably understand that this person didn't know that this was the wire to do. It was a couple tries before they were able to get the communication specifically offline.
Me scribbling notes.
Sausage.
No. Oh, I hate it.
Thank you. Louis and Sam, what are you what do you happen to be doing in electrical while your associate is repairing the wires, the power line?
I think Cian was gonna start making like friendship bracelets out of the wire, but she knows that there was a vent like up on the thing, and remembered that that's where Dr. Tishan was in. So she's hoping, she knows like historically, usually these space stations, all the vents connect to each other for the most part. A few of them don't. So she's hoping that she can like look through and maybe see if she can find something in there, like a tear of someone's jumpsuit or something that someone's left behind.
Perfect.
Do you need a lift up to the vent?
If Louis asks that, she's like, "Well, okay, yeah."
Yeah.
She like
budgets all day. Come on, let me use them. All right.
She's like,
your leading style, like.
You get a booster right up into the vent.
Sienna's like not ready for as much of a boost, and she's like, "What?" And like goes like past it for a second and has to like come back.
Sorry.
You get launched into these perfectly person-sized vents, much too large than is economical on a spaceship that is wanting for space. But who knows what the engineers were thinking when they designed these vents? And you're in these vents looking for some clues. It sounds like you're going to be investigating, so you're going to be rolling 1d6. And do you have any relevant interests or gear?
Would troublemaker work? Because technically I've been told not to go in the vents.
You know what? I think that does act in line. Troublemaker is your quality, correct? Or is it
Yeah,
your
it's my
interest?
quality.
Yep, when you act in line with your quality, you may either add 1d6 or you don't lose resolve if you happen to fail this roll.
Okay, cool. And then I have a flashlight also, so I'm gonna say she employs that
Okay.
to see better. I don't know if also fitness would work with it because she's like, I don't know, used to climbing and like crouching through things.
I think since Louis helped you, the fitness would not apply
Okay.
here in this moment. But you do already have 3d6 if you do employ your quality to get that extra d6.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sweet.
Okay.
We get some clues. Ooh, yay. Got a 16.
For 16, okay.
Mhm.
On a 16, that is higher than a 6, as math dictates, I'm told. Because math is real, allegedly. And you succeed, so you're able to find some clues. I think what you do find that you go through the vents, you're crawling through, you're making some noise. You go past a couple of vents, you see you see Marina in admin down below, looking at one of the terminals and sort of reading off the requisition manifests. And you go through, you see cafeteria, where Sierra, Eve, and Administrator Rojas are still discussing something, very heated conversation.
Hmm.
And then you do see it connects over to see what's another thing in the ship. You do see it connects to
Shields.
It connects. Yeah, sure. The shields, the shield. Not for particularly for like expecting any attacks or anything, but for protecting from space debris and sort of general protection of the mechanics of the ship. You do reach the shields section of the ship. This is 3, and I think since you succeeded, you do find. I think you see out in like in the dark, the very edge of your flashlight's light. This is very dramatic TV, so the light just cuts off in complete darkness, and you see what looks like you see a hand, like a gloved hand, like at the very edge. Doesn't seem to be moving.
Ooh. Weird.
It's like maybe a couple feet away from the vent above cafeteria.
Oh. Am I only able to see the glove just because the rest of it is darkness?
Yeah.
Okay. Not some like just disembodied hand.
No, no, You get closer, you do see the rest of the arm, and then the shoulder, and then the torso, and all attached to a human body, still membered body.
Good. That's how I prefer to see people.
This is an orange sort of student associate of yours, and if you get closer, you are able to make out the name tag says C, Tishin.
Oh. I think Cian just kind of walks up and says hello, because even before, as she was passing each vent, she like waved, even though no one knew that she was in the vents as she was like going by. So she's just like, okay, well, I guess Dr. Tishin is just here or something. So she just approaches them, and is I don't know if they're like turned away from her or not, but she's just like, oh, hello, what's going on?
Like, propped up on the side of the vent, like sitting up, and like you closer, they don't seem to react. And you get closer, and then you see like on the far side of Dr. Tishin, you do see a trail of sort of streaks of red in the vent.
Cian's gonna she's gonna hope that like they remember that Reed was supposed to be trying to fix the communication, so they're gonna try to see if it has been fixed during her time going through the vents.
I think in the vents it's a very faint signal because it's sort of Faraday cages. I don't know, but you do get a signal out. It's
Alright,
you can
testing.
pause that.
I'm testing. Comms are back up. How are we looking? Louis, can you hear the comms?
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
Okay. Through the comm, Louis, can you hear me?
Oh. So, say it one more time.
Can oh, forget it. Can you hear me through the comm?
You're loud and clear.
All right.
And I'll put right here, though.
All right, cool. Comms are back online, everyone.
If that was like a general test, you would just hear a faint thing from Cian. She's just like, Polo, wait, is that what you wanted me to answer?
Sure, I'll take it. Cool. Where are you? I'm just checking, make sure it's all over the ship now. Where are you at?
I think they've like gone back into the shadows because they were like, oh, that's super creepy. And so far it doesn't seem like Dr. Tishan has reacted at all. So they're like, maybe I'll just step back a little bit. And they're like, so I'm in Shields, right? Or did you say it was cafeteria?
You're in the vents like above cafeteria, between cafeteria and Shields.
Okay. Okay, I see. Yeah, so they're like, so I'm in the vents and I found Dr. Tishan.
Oh, cool.
They're whole, but not answering when I poked at them. And there's lots of red stuff everywhere. I guess it could be like jam or ketchup, but I did not go up and taste it like Louis is always saying. That kind of seems in bad
I'm
form.
starting to think it might be like a metallic sort of taste. I don't think you should taste it. Don't taste that red.
Don't taste random substances. Okay. Admin Rojas, do you copy? You hear that?
And I think when you if you're going over the broadband channel, you do hear Admin Rojas like begins to answer like, yes, you said you were in, and security chief Sierra immediately interrupts. You're supposed to be in your quarters. It's like, where are you? Where are you right now? Stay right where you are.
I'm
like, okay.
I'm in electrical.
Stop talking. Wait, where are you? Stop talking.
I can turn off communications again.
I can turn this spaceship around.
I'm in electrical. I just fixed the communication, so now we can all hear each other again. You're welcome.
Your instructions were in, like, you hear some jostling as, like, Administrator Rojas seems to be wrestling the microphone away from Security Chief Sierra. And okay, you said you found something. Where are you? You're in electrical, but what did you find?
That wasn't me. That was Cian.
Cian gets on the thing, and they're like, I'll tell you, but first you have to tell me you won't get mad at me.
Cian, you're in the vents above cafeteria. You hear yelling go. You hear security chief just going off, and after a moment, you hear like the comms come back on. It's like, I promise, from security, from Administrator Ross.
Cian's like, okay, well, I don't know if I believe that or not, so I'll give you a hint first, and then gauge your reaction from that.
Get your hint.
Where I am, I can hear you fairly well, but I'm not where you are. And the CS is like away from it, and she thinks she's like turned it off, and she's like, yeah, that was a good clue. I can't get mad at that.
Louis responds like, that was a really good clue. They're never gonna find you.
Thank you. I'm so good at hide and seek.
I know.
Cian, I promise you will not be in trouble. Tell us where you are right now, dear.
Okay, I'm in the vents, like
The vents.
you wouldn't get mad. That sounds mad.
You hear Administrator Rojas off mic, like sort of saying like, "Stop it! You shut up! Shut up!" to Security Chief. Where in the vents are you?
I'm like past the cafeteria, like vent opening, I guess, towards Shields, but it's like in the middle, and Dr. Tishan's body is just in here. They are not responding, so that doesn't seem to bode well.
As you continue talking, you do hear the heavy stomping of boots coming up the hallway towards the nearest vent below. And I think, Louis, what is there anything you would like to do in electrical or in this scene here?
No, I think Louis just doesn't want to touch anything ever again. So he's just like, yep, cool.
So as the security chief and Eve and Administrator Rojas sort of come to approach to investigate the body directly, we're gonna cut over to our dear friend, our favorite musician on the ESS adventure, Dr. Blue, who wears the pink.
Yeah, hello. Thank you,
So
caller. You're number 3. That means if you can say the phrase, it pays.
So, dear doctor, you are walking down the hallway, doing as you were told, returning to your quarters. But you do see that sort of walking down the other end of the hallway, and entering their room, walking at a pretty quick pace, is going to be Captain Castillo. Really, though, they have no actual authority. They're just a pilot.
I see. I will kind of go over there and say, see what's going on, what they're doing. Why are they going so quickly?
Yeah, they were walking at a quick pace, and then they entered their own quarters. They closed it behind them, but you touch the doorbell pad, the future space doorbell, and you hear some rustling inside, and they walk over. You hear the walking up to the door, and the door slides open. Yes, doctor. How can I help you? They sort of greet you, very bright-eyed, and sort of you can tell you're a doctor of some sort. You can tell their breath is a little labored.
Yeah, I'm a doctor of space.
Yeah, they seem to have too much space in their lungs, and that's why they're breathing so hard. They've traded space for oxygen.
Did I see them at the meeting?
I think you saw them early in the meeting, but they were one of the first to leave, like when everyone was dismissed to quarters.
Hey, so it seems like there's kind of some suspicious stuff going on here, don't you think? I mean, you got to know who you can trust in these situations. Do you mind if I come in? Thanks. Okay, I need to talk to you about what is going on out there. And then
yes, doctor, of course.
I try to push my way inside.
Oh, please come in, dear doctor, of course.
Great.
Can I offer you some tea?
I try not to drink unless I have to. I had
anything?
No, I've rendered most of my nutrition into an inhalable right now, so I appreciate the hospitality, but I find the process of ingesting and imbibing kind of to be repulsive.
Oh, I did not realize that you vape, dear doctor.
Yeah.
Well, how can I help you in such trying times, doctor?
Yeah. So, what were you? It seemed like you were going very, very quickly. What Did you find something? What's going on?
Well,
Like,
well, of
what's,
course, you know, friend Seiyan, and friend Seiyan is always telling us to be up on our cardio, as you know, of course.
yeah.
Not all of us can be so lucky to intake our calories in such a calorie-free deficient manner.
I mean, I think I have an ampule around here if you're looking for a light snack.
Oh no, thank you. I would dare not sort of deplete your supply, and asthma tends to run in my family.
So you were just running for exercise?
Yes. Exercise. Yes.
Well, it seems like you should make yourself a cup of refreshing tea, and if you just give me one, I'll smell it. If you got some chamomile, nothing. That's pretty intense. I know, but it's kind of an intense day.
Yes, of course, of course, friend doctor. If you'll just give me a moment, and they turn their back to you, they start like fussing with their electric kettle, and they sort of fish out like this small tea box. Is you just waiting for the tea? Is there anything you want to do while they're
no, the second their back is turned, like looking around. I heard rustling.
Yeah. Let's see. It sounds like you want to make a roll. You have 1d6. Do you have any? Is your quality relevant? Is your interest relevant? Do you have any relevant gear?
Yes. So my quality is adventurous. Whenever I'm tracking something down, and gear. All I really have right now is I have my flashlight. I have my background radiation blaster gun, which just shoots harmful amounts of background radiation. Kind of stings a little bit, much like an old Earth pellet gun might. And a lighter. So I don't know if any of those would help.
I do not believe any of that might help you in this specific case, but you may roll with you may either roll one of the additional d6 due to your quality, or you may save that and reduce the consequences of failure should you fail.
Right. So you don't lose resolve just for rolling. You lose resolve for failing.
Yes, is my understanding.
Okay, cool.
If punk bastard designer Viditya Vleti, who I believe is still in chat, would like to clarify on that, we would be much appreciated if that punk bastard would tell us how to run his game.
All right. Well, I am going to. Well, you know what? Let's go big. I'll roll 2 dice. Boom! I got a 4.
Hey, that is a 4. Yes, it is the highest of your dice. It is not the cumulative sum of your dice, like I have been going by this whole time. Yes, I know how to run this game that I learned.
And I guess should I be rolling a should I have been rolling a dread die as well?
Yeah. Shit. Yes, y'all should be rolling the dread die. The main thing that distinguishes this game from other games, the dread die is a die that we roll that is shared amongst all the players, in which once you roll a certain number, it is decremented, and once the dread die is decremented to below a certain size of die, so we're going from D12, D10, D8, D6, D4. Once it goes below a D4, then it becomes the night phase.
Well, that one's for me. We had, 3 other rolls?
Yes, we did. Let's roll 3 rolls. Let's roll yours real quick, and you got an 8, so let us see the dread die or the descent die, depending on which roll you're looking at. When it hits a 1 to 3, reduces the size. No. Yep. So let's see, I believe we had 4 rolls actually, right? And I believe Marina had made the first roll. If you would like to roll a d12 as well to see if the dread die should be decremented after the fact for us.
Okay, it's a d12?
Yes, please.
All right. 8.
And 8 is, let's see.
That's not a 1 to 3.
That's not a 1 to 3. Nope. And if our friend Reed, who had made the next roll, would like to roll a d12 as well. That is also good.
I forgot to
And
unmute before I did that. Oh well.
You're good. Any comments you would like to say after the fact? Add after the fact?
No, but hell yeah, and 11. Love to see
Yeah.
it.
And let us see. Sayan. I'm sorry, I keep.
No, you're good. I also keep saying it differently half the times I'm saying it. So.
So if you would also please roll a d12 for me.
Yeah. Whew, okay. It was
Okay, a 10. Perfect. So it is still daytime. You are still safely in the investigative phase.
Hooray.
And as you're looking around, you would roll 4, which I believe is a partial success.
Yes. I can succeed, but only at a
After a hard
cost.
choice.
Mhm.
I think what's going to happen,
Were we supposed to be using smaller dice each time we rolled?
No, if you roll a 1 to 3, then it decrements. So it will go from a D12 to a D10, and then it will go down again once if you hit a 1 to 3.
What I saw was start with the D12. Every subsequent roll reduces the size by 1 stage. And then the
Okay,
hit is the ring.
It hits on 1 to 3. When it hits, that player immediately goes down 1 ring. That's right.
Okay, so I
Okay.
should have been, if it's D12, D10, D8, I should have been a D6.
Yes. So let's see. Yeah, let's just roll a d6 because let's assume everybody didn't roll down a ring because they rolled. But let's just roll a d6 to see how much closer to the night phase we get.
All right. It's like, wow, this is going to be a very long day phase if we keep rolling like that.
Yeah.
Aha!
There we go. So you're still safe, and what's it? We had 4 rolls. That's a D12, a D10, a D8, and the D6. So the next one is going to be the D4. Right? That's all the sizes of dice.
That's the sizes.
Okay. No, there's like 7 sizes of dice, isn't there?
Well, there's a D20, but we're not using one of those, right?
Right. We don't use the D20. Yeah, because Viditya hates D20s.
And I mean, with digital dice, you can have any size you want.
D20s have the worst mouthfeel, according to Viditya Letty's Dice Corner Deep 5, I believe.
I can roll a 17-sided die. What's my hard choice while I see if I can roll non-integers?
I had it, and then I lost it because we realized I didn't know how to run this game. So let's say either they are gonna. So either something is gonna put you in a very suspicious situation very soon out when you leave this room, or you're gonna lose a piece of gear.
Yeah, put me in a suspicious situation.
Okay, wonderful. So you're able, you keep all your gear, and what you do spot is that they, let's see. You were looking for anything suspicious in the room because they were doing some rustling before you got inside. Is that correct?
That is
Right.
correct.
So I think you do spot something. We get the camera pans very close on your face as Dr. Blue's eyes go very wide, and then the camera cuts to black as we go to break.
Ah!
Because I and we are just going to take a 5 to 10 minute break. Go, please get some water, stretch, Viditya, stretch, and we're gonna refresh. I'm gonna refresh myself on the rolls. I'm also gonna figure out what Dr. Blue has discovered, and we're going to just take a quick break. Please feel free to check out the Extra Life charity. You can bring up the charity link in the chat with exclamation point Extra Life, which Jess has done. You can check out this game with exclamation point B as in Bob, T as in Tom, W as in William, and then that is all. I think I'm real good at hosting. Hire me to host your games and shows. Everybody wave, Jess says. You at home too. Once again, this is where I do the talking, I think. And hi, hello, welcome back. Welcome to the beginning of our stream. This is the start. We did not just play an hour and a half where I did not understand the rules. I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome to twitch.tv/go_JG. This is Jess's channel. Jess is kind of the hostess. Welcome back from the break. I hope you all stretched, got some water, got a snack. And we are raising funds for Extra Life charity, donating funds to children's hospitals. And we're currently at $294. So if somebody could spare $6, the price of 4 McChickens, that'd be just great. And so we also are going to have a giveaway going on. If you type in adventure, the title of the space station in the chat, you will be entered into a giveaway for a copy of Tales from the Loop. A very good game, an okay show on Amazon. Great art though from the original artist. So all of that business is taken care of. I think I spy a doctor in somebody else's personal space, snooping around. And Dr. Blue, the last time we get the camera shot of very close in on your eyes, and we follow the camera, pans around 180 and follows your eye line. You do see what looks like a spare suit. You do notice that the pilot, the captain, their designation, they wear a red suit usually, but they've got a spare suit. They've got a spare white suit underneath their cabinet. You just see like you see the sheen of a helmet, and then you sort of tilt your head and you look down. You see this white helmet underneath their sort of dresser, their space dresser.
I grabbed the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing with this?
This. What do you? And as they're turning around, as Captain Castillo is turning around, I do not. What this? What do you mean? And they sort of spill the tea from the mug. I can explain. I can explain exactly why I have that helmet. It was a souvenir.
Oh, okay. Well, I believe you.
Well, in these trying times, we do not know who we can and cannot trust, as you said. So I appreciate you taking me at my word. Here is your tea, dear doctor.
Oh, that's quite a rush.
The caffeine is aerosol. Is nice. I was not aware that such was in its chemical composition possibilities.
Oh, no, it's not. It's just, smelling anything. We live in space.
We do. Yes, dear doctor.
Everything smells clinical here, you don't really get a... I'm surprised that, we have artificial gravity, obviously, so, I'm not worried about spilling the tea and it kind of being floating globules that gets everywhere and all his equipment anymore. Can you imagine what that would have been like before we discovered graviton particles?
Yes. Before we discovered the gravity particles, of course. We should be grateful for that which we have in our lucky enough to these times that we live in. Is there anything else I can help you with, dear doctor, friend doctor?
I don't suppose there is. I think I'll just be going back to my room, which is where we're supposed to go.
I mean, if you'd like, you can feel free to stay, dear doctor.
I like to follow the rules.
One might argue that if you were following the rules, you should have been in your room already.
Oh, you're right. I shouldn't be breaking them any longer.
Of course, this shall be a secret between us.
Of course.
Now we both have secrets on one another.
And then
Such is the strongest foundation for trust. Mutually assured destruction.
Yes, mutually assured destruction. That's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go back to my room. But what I actually do once I leave the room is go and find Security Officer Sierra.
Security Officer Sierra is at a terminal, sort of fighting her GeForce game driver, which is apparently ready for update and won't get off the screen.
Oh, you shouldn't have installed the GeForce Experience. You gotta just like do a clean manual install every time. That's what Reed tells me. That thing's a piece of trash. Just bloatware.
They don't let me download the updates if I don't have the stupid app.
Gotta click it off each time. These are problems we can all relate to. It's, NVIDIA controls half of old Earth right now, so. But look, Captain Castillo is the pilot, and that's a spacesuit. I think that they're the one responsible for what's happened. We gotta go investigate. I've solved the case. I'm gonna become a detective as well as a doctor. You can give me a medal later, but go right now.
Okay. Okay, and I think just off screen we pan over and we see Cyan, and we see Reed, and we see Louis standing like sort of as Eve and one of the other maintenance crew are fishing Dr. Tishan's body out of the vents. And well, you know what? I'm gonna lock down her quarters. You just stay right here, Doctor, okay? While we handle this pressing matter of our dead colleague.
Yeah, handle it by going and getting the captain. White spacesuit. I under the counter.
White spacesuit under the counter.
Yeah, they wear red. That's how. Like, they say it's a souvenir, but I'm not falling for that lie.
Souvenir. Sorry, why were you in their room?
Because I saw them running down the hall, and I thought it was something suspicious, and I thought, oh, well, that's something that someone who has something to hide would be doing. So I was like, haha, I'll come in, I'll offer you some refreshment. No, wait, they offered me refreshment. It's because she's a gracious host, even if she is a murderer, which I guess that's something to be said for politeness.
Understood. Okay. Well. Okay. Come. I think you need to come along with me, Doctor.
Yeah, great. That way I can be there, and you can take my picture when the proof is found, where it definitely will be, and then I will be ready for my medal and promotion.
Yeah, just like in that old movie where they hold up the shark, you can hold up the pilot, I guess.
I mean, that's kind of grim. I was thinking just the space helmet, I would point to it like this. I would make a face like, or perhaps maybe a more serious one, like. I'm workshopping it,
I like the second one a lot. I like that one. I think that'll really translate well.
Oh,
thanks.
Okay.
No problem.
Well, Doctor, if you would please lead the way.
Oh, lead the way. All right.
Does anybody else want to come, like, sort of see out this accusation that's being made? I think everybody was either close enough or over comms, like, could have heard this.
I'm first gonna just like look over at that terminal and just like hit a few keys and make the update screen go away, and then continue on.
I don't think so. I think Marina, because once she sort of heard kind of the kerfuffle around
Yep.
finding the body, I think she probably changed directions.
Okay.
And she is probably going to climb into a vent and try and actually look in Tishan's room before anybody gets there.
Okay, so you're heading over to Tishan's room while there. Let's follow Marina for a bit and see what's up with Dr. Tishan's room. Dr. Tishan's room. So you enter the room. I think the room has, like, I don't think the door's locked or anything anymore. I think it's been opened and for the purpose of investigation, which they might not have done themselves already. And you enter inside. You do see it's a nice room. Like, there's like Dr. Tishan seems to have like gotten some like vinyl, like, sort of wallpaper to make the walls look like wood, and like on all the furniture to make it look a little like less like sort of metallic and jarring. And they've got very nice sheets. They've got a nice bed top, and you do see a photo on the desk of, like, in the show it'd be out of focus, but it's generally like some sort of family on photo on this counter. You do.
It looks like new Aspen here.
A couple books on cooking. One manual on the communication system. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Yes, knives.
Knives. You were looking for knives. You do. Looking through, I think it's easy enough based on, I don't think it's another roll or anything, since you already saw that they requisitioned some knives, so there's no, like, interesting failure here. So you do find their knife roll, along with a couple with their placed right next to their treasured, generations old cast iron pan that they also make a very big deal about. They always talk about how many layers of seasoning is on it, and so you do find this knife roll. You undo the knife roll, and you do see that the large sort of chef's knife is missing from here. You do see the butcher's knife still there, the fish boning knife, the sort of bread knife, the small paring knife, all the items you would get in that from Sky Mall are right in there, except for the chef's knife.
And so does it look like any of them need, like, does it look like any of them needed to be replaced? Do I, like, see why he would have wanted new knives?
I think you do see on the butcher's knife there is, like, sort of a nick, a pretty deep nick, like pretty close to the heel of the blade. But otherwise, that's a mostly. I'm not sure how much you imagine Marina knows about cooking. That's not a reparable sort of damage, but, like, it's mostly irrelevant to a butcher's knife, being how heavy it is for the usage of it. But mostly you imagine it's like the fact that the chef's knife is missing, and, like, that is like the core tool in the kit.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna. I am gonna climb up into the vent, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go spy on the doctor.
You're gonna go spy on the doctor, Dr. Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you climb up into the vent, and you're gonna go look for the doctor. I think you overheard where they were going, so you're gonna see that, and so Reed is following along. Sayan, Louis, what are you doing at this time?
Cian would have, if they saw Marina go into a vent, they're just like, yeah, we're all going into vents. They just go into a different one.
I think Marina, did you follow Marina over to Dr. Tishan's room? Otherwise, I don't believe you
they
might
went
have.
into a different one because they were like, Marina's got that covered. And
Yeah.
they also like have a pretty good sense of where the vents connect and stuff.
Mhm.
I think whenever Marina is like going past, they like momentarily pass each other and they're just like, hey. Like in a Scooby-Doo kind of moment.
Sure.
But yeah, they're going in a different vent, probably to go to like an area that has like been explored, just to see if they can find something else.
Okay. What's Louis up to? I don't think we've got enough focus on Louis yet.
Louis is, well, he definitely thinks about going in the vents because everyone else has done it. Well, maybe later.
Louis remembers the keen words of one of his parents. If they all went in the vents, would you also go in the vents? I don't know, honey.
Thinks
You
about his
really
mom.
can't just be following other kids along like that.
You're right, Ma. You're right. All right. Louis loves drama and fitness, so I think he's gonna go maybe. Even though everyone was told to go back to their rooms, anyone who was close to the doctor or anyone who might be sad or concerned about these events, I think he's gonna try to just find other people to talk to.
Okay.
Just get some stories and just be like, oh my God, did you hear that happened? That's real. Oh my God. The ship is really going down, you know?
Let's see. Who have we not engaged with yet? You find Engineer Bowie. They are. I think they're in one of the lounge spaces. They're simply like sitting in one of the beanbag chairs, and very like current corporate, where it's like we're all business, but we're fun too. And we've got free snacks and beanbag chairs,
Yeah.
so we don't have to pay you more. And they seem to be like sort of staring out the window into space, and you do see they're holding a couple loose leaves of paper. They don't seem to notice as you approach.
Yeah, Lou's gonna like go to the vending machine and just hit it in like the 3 right ways, and like Skittles are gonna come out. You're like, cool. He'll go over to the engineer and he'll just be like, "Hey, buddy, you need a skill? You all right?"
Like they notice, and like they do the very soap opera thing where like they like wipe their eye and like
Hey, it's okay. It's all right. Louis, like, can I put my hand on your shoulder? Is that all right? I don't want to invade your personal space.
No, that's okay. That's fine.
It's a very warm and reassuring hand.
Oh, that's so warm and reassuring. Thank you.
I've been told. Yeah.
Um,
What's up?
I don't know if you know, but like it's Louis, right? Like we don't really cross paths too much.
You look upset, so I want to say how you doing.
Oh yeah. Well, it's me. Well, Welker and I, we were kind of seeing each other. I know it's against policy, but
Policy's policy. Love is love, right?
yeah, and well, like he usually like sort of like goes like off on his own and does his own thing for a while and gets wrapped up in the lab, and like so it's normal for them to be gone, but like I don't know, now that they're not around, it's just a lot. I'm worried. And I heard they found somebody up in the vents.
Well, I'd really like to lie to you, but it's true. They did. It wasn't Welk.
Oh,
I think.
Okay.
Probably. I don't think it was. But anyway, yeah, I totally get why you're scared. That's rough. That's rough. It's scary. I mean, space. Enough, that just space is enough. And now all this creepy, weird shit's going on. Man. Is there anything I could do for you? You want me to go? Yeah, I could probably find Welk. I know these places like the back of my hand. And they don't I'm not going to go back to my room. Nobody is.
Oh, were we supposed to go back to our rooms? Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah. They're pretty mad about it, but it's fine.
Oh, um, I mean, I guess, well, if you're, can I?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And, well, can I just, I'd feel safer with you. Can I come to your room and just?
Yeah, I mean, I
Because
don't know
we
if I'll
feel
be in that long, but you can hang out there if you'd like. It's a pretty safe space. It's got like 8 locks on it.
Eight
Yeah, I put
locks?
my own on. I'm paranoid.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, that seems reasonable. That's
it's
fine.
nice, you know?
Yeah, like you don't know who you can trust these days, right?
It's true, but you can trust me. I'm very trustworthy.
Okay.
I feel like when I say that, it seems less true, but I
Mhm.
do mean it. Let's just go. You want to just go?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Can I have the green ones? And like pointing to the Skittles.
Oh, yeah. Just force the button.
Is there any like mechanical things you would like to do, Louis? Any answers you're looking for from the engineer? Or any investigation you like to do? Any gear you like to pick up?
I kind of want to see if there's any way I can see what's on the paper that they have, but Louis not gonna like push it if it's inaccessible.
Okay, let's see. I think that falls under like sort of investigating, trying to get answers from another character. So you're going to be rolling a d6, and then do you have any? Is your quality relevant? Are your interests or any of your gear relevant to sort of getting them to open up to you?
Well, I have drama as an interest and an empathetic, so I don't know if I want to try to spin it in a sort of manipulative way where he's really trying to like, oh, you okay? Here, let me take that paper for you. Okay, you know, sort of thing.
Let me just get the wrinkles out of that for you.
Yeah, let me just copy that down for you.
If you'd like, you sure can. I don't think empathetic. If you go for empathetic, I don't think it necessarily means you're manipulating them. It's just you're getting them to open up and relating to them.
Yeah. So is that 2d6 or 3d6?
Let's look at drama real quick. Let's look at what it says.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a drama/debate, and
I think maybe like that could be like as persuasive as well, like getting them to show you the page and like in a way where like it's not manipulative. I think it works. So you could go for 3d6 if you'd like to use your quality to bump up your roll instead of sort of reduce possible failure.
You know what? Failure seems fun option, so I'll just do the 3d.
Nobody's failed yet.
Well,
let me tab over. Does it sound like nervous laughter? Well, the highest one is a 5, so that's a partial success.
Okay, that was the lowest one.
Yep, take your highest result and compare. On a 4 to 5, you may succeed, but only after a hard choice. I think, what's a good hard choice here? We've already got Dr. Blue being put in a very suspicious situation, which is going to be coming pretty soon. I think... what happens is... who in the group trusts Louis right now? Of the other characters. Just the doctor. Okay.
Do I need to do a dread roll thing or no?
We will resolve that in just a moment.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just trying to think. Yeah, you can roll that while I'm thinking about. So you're going to be rolling a 1d4.
Nice.
So after this, the night phase is going to start.
1.
1. So you are going to go down in a ring.
Okay.
So you get closer to being lost, but that is going to change very quickly as we go into the descent phase. Or in the fight night phase. Let's see, what's a hard choice? You know what, let me open it up to the other players. What do y'all think might be a hard choice to get Engineer Bowie to share this note as they share this note? What's a hard choice? What's a hard position to put our friend Louis in?
I mean, I think like I don't know if this is too complicated, but like
Mhm.
persuading him, but also seeming kind of crass about it.
Okay.
I don't know if that's.
What if, like, as the like, because of the like crassness of it or something, as it's happening, like that part of the ship goes on lockdown or something.
Actually, yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's see. Yeah, I think either Engineer Bowie become like sort of in you, sort of getting them to open up. They suddenly become very suspicious of you, and like start making public accusations, or you get locked into this area of the ship for a good while, separated from your friends, or at least the current situation.
I think Louis is pretty confident in himself of not being a murderer. You would be genuinely hurt if someone accused him, but he'd be like, "Oh no, but seriously, it wasn't me. You can, it's fine. Don't worry." So I think he'd deal with the accusations fairly well.
Okay.
So we'll do that.
Yeah, we'll figure out how that works. So you rolled very badly. So you get down, you get close to being lost, but like that's going to resolve itself. And now you're going to see what's in the note. In the note, you do see that Welker does seem to be. Welker has written on this last note. It's basically a breakup note. Like, I can't be with you anymore. I have to confess, I've been seeing somebody else as I was seeing you. And I'm sorry, I can no longer hold up the charade. And I'd rather the position of the other party, while I do not feel comfortable saying, it would put me in a compromising position to upset them. I sincerely hope you understand that this is really, it's not you, it's me.
Louis will like,
but it's also them.
"Oh my god, it's not you, it's me." Oh my, are you serious?
So you get that note, like you see that clearly there was like some sort of affair happening, and I think you also get that Welker was planning to leave on the next ship out. Like they were going to break it off and like leave to get themselves out of this weird situation. And I think what is it that you do that would make Engineer Bowie suspicious?
What would he do? What does Louis do? Oh, I don't know.
If you would take a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Something like sounds like he deserved what he got.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
good.
a good idea. Louis would just be like, really doesn't even seem like you'd be missed anyway. I mean, kind of seems, like cut your losses early, huh? No?
What?
Nope. What?
Hang on. What do you mean by that? That seems, I think.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, he doesn't seem like a good guy, so he was gonna leave anyway.
Hang on, that's not fair. You don't know William like I do. And she starts to stand up and like sort of back towards the door.
Where there's 8 locks.
Yeah. I think she bumps into the door and like look and hears like the locks rattle, like one of the padlocks on there, and like looks at it and like was clearly suspicious before. Thought it was kind of weird, but like looks at it like again. It's like, I really need to. I think I should go.
Sure.
Thank
Yeah.
thank you for the
You got
Skittles.
the locks? You want me to get them for you?
She's like,
The third one
she's
can
like,
be a little tricky.
she doesn't break eye contact with you, but she's like scrambling. Like, I've got
okay?
it.
No, you're going through some stuff right now. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you later, I guess.
Like she somehow wants to be as close to the door as possible, but far away from you. But like eventually, that whole situation works out. Door opens, and like she walks out the door and like immediately starts heading down the hallway, looking over her shoulder the whole time.
That was weird.
And we cut back over to security chief, the security chief, and Dr. Blue, and I believe Reed is also following, heading
Yep.
over to Captain Cardenas's quarters. And as security chief arrives, like security chief's like, "You sure you want to? You these are serious accusations you're making, Doctor."
Yeah, well, it's a serious situation we're in. I don't do this lightly.
You know the bylaws. Having any contraband of any kind is means for immediate dismissal from the facility.
Yeah,
And any false accusations therein as well.
yeah.
Long walks with small oxygen tanks. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, no, I think you're right. Like those bylaws are there for a reason. I'm going by protocol,
Okay. Well, if you're sure, and like they will knock on the door. Cardenas. Knocking again. Open up. You don't hear anything on the other side. She pulls out her tablet, puts it up to the future space bell keypad. The door opens, and we do see that. What was that?
Probably trying to hide the evidence.
We do see that we see Cardenas's shape standing, sort of facing away, sort of leaning against like the cupboard, the open cupboard, and as security chief Sierra walks in, she's like, "Cardenas, you hear me?" So like goes up and like grabs by the shoulder, and then Cardenas just like sort of collapses. We do see like a gaping we see like running down their cheek, like sort of spittle, blood, like some sort of yellow substance. The cup like sort of rolls from their hand and like sort of rolls out, and the tea spills out and like sort of fizzes on the ground.
I don't think that's tea.
Doctor?
Yeah,
Doctor.
what's up?
Doctor, do you care to explain yourself?
Explain myself. Yeah, I told you this. Look. Okay, so I know this looks bad, right? Because the captain is dead. Obviously, someone has murdered the captain, but that's not me. So, like, look, just right here, and then I kind of dramatically reveal where the white spacesuit was before.
I think you go for the spacesuit, and while you find the helmet, you don't find the suit.
Oh, I was confident that there was going to be nothing there, so that's a plus for me.
No, you rolled success. Like you get like some evidence, but like somebody got there and put you in a compromising situation.
See,
Reed,
look.
Reed, what's your read on the situation, Reed?
I mean, for one thing, the doctor doesn't eat or drink. And like, if you were to murder someone, I don't think poison would be your style. So I'm with the doctor on this one. This is... Is there a vent in this room?
They don't eat or drink. All the more reason that they would not have partaken of the poison.
No. Okay, the door was closed. Is there a vent in this room? Because we know the vents go everywhere.
There is a vent in this room.
Yeah, so let's check the vent. I can't see the doctor doing something like that.
I'm glad someone around here has some kind of sense.
As this discussion is going on, we have entered the night phase where things are getting tense. And I think if everybody can move their tokens down to the outermost layer of the underneath the horizon of the map.
Oh.
We've entered the night phase, and you want to be going towards the center now. So now, where you're making rolls, instead of having tiered success where it's 6 is a success, 4 to 5 is a partial success, 1 to 3 is a failure. Now you're going to be rolling DC, and the DC, I do not believe any of you are paranoid, so your DC is going to be, let's see, in the night phase, on or before your paranoia state, the difficulty is 3+ to succeed, so you always want to roll higher than a 3. And as this discussion is going on, I think the lights do literally go out.
Right. Hey, Louie, are you fucking with the wires again?
I had a feeling you were gonna call me, but no, wasn't me. I'm in my room.
Doctor, don't move. And like, the security chief goes to grab you by the arm. Do you allow them to grab you?
No, you're not taking me alive. I know how this is going. I'm not going down for this rap. I'm not getting framed up. Flashlight on. Let's go. Doctor, away. Escape.
Love a voice activated flashlight.
Glass off again.
I was gonna say, also, does Doctor away? Does that activate something else? That jetpack or something?
My backside out of the door.
Oh, it's the retro future clapper. Reed, you see the doctor pushing past you and running out the door.
Whoa.
With the flashlight on.
Like on the suit, you know, like on one of those,
So is it more like a headlamp or like body lamp type situation?
like shoulder mounted lamp, I imagine.
Oh, the Kojima lamp. I get it. Okay.
Okay, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Seems awfully suspicious to run away from a crime scene.
Look, I'm gonna go to electrical and try to fix the lighting.
No, Reed, I think you better stay with me.
Okay, then come with me so we can see.
I think... Okay. Alright, lead the way.
Alright, and I also have a flashlight, so I'm going to use that. I think... You know what I think Reed has? I think Reed has, like, the finger-mounted ones, if you've ever seen those.
Yes.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
supposed to be, like, super nice for electric stuff, so...
Yeah.
Reed's just, like, walking around like this. And just being like, okay, well, this is not what these were designed for, but it's fine.
Oh my god.
Tiny light.
So, Anne, what does your flashlight look like?
Oh my god, what would her flashlight look like?
As the lights go off, what flashlight do we see on scene?
I'm trying to think if there's like, because she probably has something that like she normally uses when she's like rock climbing or like rappelling into like a cave or something like that. So It's probably a headlamp. I'm trying to think if there's anything more ridiculous than that. Either that or she's got like
a coal miner's headlamp.
Yeah, either that or she's got like a bunch of glow sticks because she like throws them to see like how far down it goes. So she's got these like emergency like that'll be what it is, glow sticks that she has to snap, and then like she shoves one underneath her bare ears.
Yeah.
That's what they're for.
I think you throw one in the hallway ahead of you from where you're coming in the dark, and like we see this glow stick roll on the ground over a couple panels, and it lands against Marina's boot as Marina was like sort of down the hallway, watched the doctor yell "Doctor away" and ran down the hallway away from them.
The doctor's finally exercising. That's what he yells before he runs.
Marina, San, what would you like to do now that things are dark and scary?
I mean, I think Marina would have been like as soon because Cardenas is in, and the doctor's quarters are pretty close to each other, right? That's why.
Yeah, they're like down the hall from each other.
I feel like
maybe a couple doors.
Marina, because she's in the vent at the moment, and so I think when she started to hear the kerfuffle, she probably would have gone down into the doctor's room.
Okay.
And I think Marina has 2 flashlights because I wasn't sure if I got to re-roll on those. So.
Go ahead and re-roll. I don't see the purpose of having 2 flashlights.
Oh, well, I feel like she has a big headlight, but I think she also has like a glow stick. Like a red light glow stick, which is, I think, what she drops down into the room and cracks because it'll be harder to see than like a flash, than an actual headlamp.
To go for the most murdery atmosphere of just dropping it right.
Exactly. Yeah, that too.
Love it.
She's like, she got the idea from Cyan. She likes the glow stick. She hadn't really thought about that, but she's like,
would it be all
right?
Would it be all right if Cyan had seen you in the vents as you were dropping down?
Sure.
Okay. Cyan, would you be joining Marina? Would you just wave or like do like the Spider-Man?
Yeah, I think
disappointing.
Marina was probably like turned away, but Cyan waved anyway. And it's like, okay, well, whatever. And then they'll follow Marina because like I don't know if they noticed at first that it was any darker because they've been in the vents anyway. But I think maybe they all like passed like an outside space and it was all dark, and she heard the doctor yell out "Doctor away." So she's like, all right, things going down.
Yep.
They only do that during emergencies.
Marina, you drop down into the doctor's room, and soon after, Cyan drops in behind you.
Marina, that's you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You wouldn't miss Marina and her patent red glow sticks anywhere.
Glad I found you, Cyan.
Hello.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we're in the doctor's room. I was just following you. This is not where I was expecting to be. I just like going around in the vents, honestly.
I've never trusted the doctor.
Oh.
And his aerosol diets. I mean, I watch my weight, but that's ridiculous.
They keep calling it Soylent Air. I don't think it's gonna be off. But yeah, I don't know. I don't mind people eating in different forms. I mostly just eat gel packets, for the running and stuff. But I'm pretty ambivalent, but they did know a lot about that other person. I don't know. It feels weird. I just want to be suspicious of someone, honestly. I don't know. I just want to be a part of the group.
Marina's like, do you know what? And I mention the chemicals that got requisitioned by Welker. Like, I ask her, do you know what those do?
Oh. I don't really know what they do. I know where you can like get them from, like usually. And she just like kind of like patters off a bunch of like, oh, you find these in like these locations in space that we've like these asteroids or something. We've like been able to mine them for this. But she's like, I don't really know what the purpose of them was for. Are they missing or something?
Welker requisitioned some, and now he's gone. I only know that they're like I saw that they were like they're controlled at least. Like you have to get permission to take them out.
Yeah, those specific chemicals.
Yeah, they're controlled, so they have to get admin approval to take them out. So they must be dangerous. And I'm going to start snooping around like as we're talking, like the doctor's room.
Mm-hmm.
If Marina's being careful, Xian is just like grabbing stuff. She's like, oh, look at this book. That's weird.
Marina, I think
have a Parappa the Rappa Dakimakura.
Oh my god.
And his music is terrible.
Whoa. Marina,
how am I supposed to run to that?
That's true. It has a really weird beat. That's why I'm always like tripping and stuff when I listen to it. But the doctor keeps saying that I have to keep listening and replaces all my tapes with his. I don't know how they have so many tapes because I keep them up into space.
Yeah, I haven't seen a tape in. I don't think they've been used in like 200 years. So how does he have some?
I don't know. Maybe they recover the ones that I throw out into space, but I mean, I'm trying to get rid of them. I've got so many bruises from all the times I've tripped.
What is this scene?
What do you mean, Kevin? This is role playing.
Extremely good is what it is.
Marina, you find you suspiciously find a couple vials matching the chemicals that Welker had requisitioned in the doctor's room. You find like all of them and oh, hang on, let's see. Sayan, what was your specialty specifically?
My interests or my qualities?
Your interests, I believe.
Oh, fitness and history.
I think you're both trained in fitness, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you both know, like, you're able to parse it together. Like, you both had to take, like, a biology class as part of your sports biology courses. Like, you just had to get those credits. You had to mark them off. And you both remember, like, if you combine some of these, like, those do make some toxic chemicals. And they, like, as I said, they do match the chemicals that Welker had requisitioned. And they seem to be just put in Dr. Blue's sock drawer, right underneath his like cleanest pair of pink socks.
Weird. Did we both find this, or just Marina finds this?
I pointed out to you.
Yeah, I can't imagine why Marina would hide it from you.
That's true. Oh, that's weird. These are the missing, or the chemicals that were being requisitioned?
Yeah, like are any of the I don't know if I can tell, like is any of it missing? Like
you do see a lot of the vials are like about half full at this point.
Should we call security?
Oh yeah, I guess we should. Well, I'll see if. I hope the communication's still working now that the lights are all off, broken. I don't know. she like starts like clicking at the communication to see if it clicks through to anybody.
Communications are still working.
Okay. I think she would contact Reed first, more than like the security person who she doesn't really know. So she'll contact Reed instead. Hello, Reed, are you there? Hello. Yeah. She like starts talking really loudly and into the like close up to the mic.
Hi, ow! Back off! Hold on. What?
Who are you communicating with? I demand to know.
I'm trying to figure that out.
I'm not talking to whoever this other person is. Get out of our call.
Wait, who's calling me? Hello?
Oh, this is Cian.
What is going on? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the lights. What is happening?
We found something. Oh, by we I mean me and Marina. We're both together.
Okay.
We found a bunch of chemicals in Dr. This is Dr. Blue's room, right? Okay. In Dr. Blue's room, some of the chemicals that were being requisitioned are in here. They're like used up.
Okay. I don't know what to do with that information.
As
I think
y'all are
right at that moment, Louis is
Sorry,
just
yeah.
gonna. He's just like sitting alone for like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta tell someone about this. And as soon as Cian finishes that, he's like, "You won't believe what I just read." He'll just tell Cian everything.
So did you just like join this call? So we're now in like a 3-way, like old school, like
call. Yeah,
I think he originally called to just tell Cian because he needed to tell someone.
Okay.
And the wires maybe are funky now, though. He's like, "Oh, hey, Reed, you won't believe this."
It was a 2-shot face to face, and then it's flash, and now it's a 3-shot on the screen.
I was picturing that scene in Mean Girls when they're like,
there we go.
It's just Karen like running between Regina and Gretchen and Katie.
Yeah, it's definitely Cian like meant to just look it up and instead accidentally made it into a conference call.
Yeah. Hold on, let me switch over really quick. Oh gosh.
You get a couple pings as Dr. Chartreuse is requesting to join the call.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah, Cian.
We're gonna going. No.
Louis, can you get to my room, please? I need you to make it look like my body pillow is me sleeping in my bed. I'm running from security. I'm going to be hiding down, I think, in the shields.
Oh, I got like 8 locks on my
Dr.
room.
Blue.
I want to use it.
No, hold on, Dr. Blue. What is happening?
Someone else is on this call. Oh, that's very.
Yeah, there's a lot of us. Also, it's on speakerphone because I wanted Marina to be in on it too. So
I think as a small interruption, Engineer Bowie runs up the hallway up to past Reed and up to Security Chief Sierra. It's like, yes, Chief. I think it was Louis. You know what? I really think it was Louis. Louis said something really weird. Louis said that Dr. Welker deserved to die.
You know, I believe it.
Did somebody say my name?
What?
Shush, Louis.
All right.
And I just, like, real quick, I'm like, yeah. So, Louis is on the call. This is like, okay, it's kind of a mess over here. But yeah.
You're talking to
No, the worst conference call ever.
Don't let him know I said it.
Louis wouldn't hurt a fly. I mean, like, I'd kill someone before Louis would, you know?
Is this on speaker now?
No, I am not on speaker.
Okay.
It's just me, and so you hear me going like, Just like Steve pulling a face of just like, why are you saying these things?
Reed,
True, I would
security
murder
chief is like,
people.
Reed, you better patch me in on that call right now. There's gonna be real serious consequences if you, this is obstructing justice.
Fine. I am
Like,
patched.
if I killed
turn off my-
somebody, you know what I
turn
would
off-
do?
I turn off mute and I am like, all right, patching in. Here we go.
I would kill someone before Louis would kill
Shut
someone.
up! Shut up!
Doctor,
I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I really don't get murderous tendencies that often.
Marina's just nodding sagely, like, I knew it.
Yeah,
Doctor, if,
and is like pointing like, oh, you called it.
Dr. Louis, if you come and meet me in administration right now, I promise there will be no serious consequences.
Yeah, just being shot out of the airlock. You'll never take me alive, copper.
Wait, what did I do?
What? No. Sorry. Look, I have to become hunted.
Sienna,
Doctor, I'm going to take that as an admission of guilt.
It's just like, I'm not really sure what I did yet. Could someone explain it to me?
Well, if you will meet me down in administration, sir, Mr. Louis, I will be sure to explain the entire situation to you in a clear,
I'm allowed
concise
to
manner.
My room? That's good now?
Yes, you are allowed to keep your room.
I don't want to break the rules. All right, I'll be right down.
Okay.
Sienna,
Administration.
don't believe them. They said they wouldn't get mad at me, and they did.
I'm totally with you. We should get to the shields. That's where the doctor said he was going.
Like, Sienna does a bunch of weird, complicated, like, what to her seems like tactical gestures or something. And then, like, she's never gone over with anyone, and Marina, I'm sure, is just like, okay.
Dear doctor, where are you right now?
I'm running for shields. I'm
You're running for shields. Okay.
running through the hard-pass and storage. I'm rounding the corner from. I'm not going in electrical.
It's not safe. There's so many wires.
As Reed and the security chief and Bowie are entering electrical, you run right past like ships in the night, and you do. I think as you're going through storage, you do end up tripping over something, and then as you turn around and your flashlight sort of turns around, you do see Eve. It has been disassembled, so to speak. There's a. To borrow from Ridley Scott, there's a lot of white milk around.
Oh, I hate that.
No!
I hate that. Oh no.
Oh, the best and brightest of us. Oh,
Eve truly has been vexed.
Oh,
Terrible.
the
Awful.
best of one. Oh, oh, Eve. And I look around and I'm just gonna scoop up some of this milk.
Just to vape later.
Might come in handy, you know. Just gonna scoop up some of this android milk,
Oh no.
put it in my backpack, I guess. Take out my BB gun and my lighter.
Is anybody trying to get closer to this? Reed, I think you're making the most direct action, trying to get closer to solving this issue and trying to sort of get the lights back on. Does that sound about right?
yes. Yep. I'm
Reed.
trying to get electrical.
Reed, can you roll for me some dice?
Okay.
Let's see. In the night phase, you're rolling as normal, so you're rolling 1d6 plus any your interests or your gear, or
I've got the tech, and then now that I'm using the flashlight, is that going to
Mhm.
help now? All right, cool.
I think a flashlight will help in the darkness.
All right. So
wanna
that
get over a
brings
3.
it. That brings it up to 3.
Yes. You know what? I should have changed the music. Hang on.
Ah. Ignore me not knowing how. Oh my. I can roll 20. There it goes. Ooh. Okay, that's not great.
Ooh.
Well, that's a 5 for the highest.
That's a 5. That still passes. That still
Okay.
passes. You're not paranoid yet. You haven't been lost.
Okay. Does
So
anyone...
you do move yourself closer within. You move 1 ring inside.
Okay. Boop.
Oh, and Louis, when we went into night phase, it reset, so you should be on the outermost ring.
And I need to roll that dread dice, don't I?
Let's see. Do we
Or
still
do
have
I?
the dread die at nights?
I don't see it in there. Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yep. Because
Okay.
dread die just determines when we go into night phase.
Cool. We're good on that. We're done with that.
Yes. So you are
Yep.
that much closer to the truth. I think the lights do start flickering back on. I think just for drama's sake, you get the emergency lights back on, so everything is like this deep, dark red, and as we get the emergency lights on. And now we see Louis. Louis, you're walking down the hallway, and like suddenly the lights come back on, like deep, dark red. You in your heart of hearts, you feel this very, very this tense music. Because you're a very dramatic person, so you always have a personal soundtrack going, I imagine.
Perfect.
What are you doing, Louis?
He's sort of like dancing down the hall a little bit. Like he has like this really intense soundtrack going on. He's like just really going at it. But he really doesn't quite know what's going on, so he's just sort of walking to the admin office.
Yeah.
He can't imagine anyone would think that he was guilty of murder.
Louis, I think as you turn the corner, you happen to like run right into somebody rushing very quickly with like this small vessel of white liquid, and it just spills all over them. And then you see like that in this dark light, Dr. Blue seems to be in a very dark red jumpsuit with like now it seems like just spilled milk all over themselves.
There's no use crying over it. Yeah, it's what's left of Eve. I was hoping to reconstitute her later, but hey, maybe we can figure out what tore her apart.
What? Tore who apart? Why do you have milk?
There's a hand.
Oh God, is that Eve?
It was. Actually, I think Eve is the milk. Technically, the body is just a vessel.
Hey, Doc, I hate to point this out, but this is the second time you've been seen around a dead body today.
Yeah, I know. That's why we got to figure out what's going to happen, because, someone's killing lots of people. Androids are people too. I mean, I guess sentient beings? Sapient?
Yeah. We can figure out a word for it later, but I agree with you.
You know how to clean up a mess. I know how to analyze things. Let's put our heads together and see what we can make of
Unlikely duo.
Solving crimes, you know?
Oh.
I would like to try and see if we can suss out what happened to Eve.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is a partnership worth exploring. Let's do this, even though I don't trust you.
Oh, but I trust you.
Oh, well, I guess that kind of cancels it out to neutral then, right?
So, in the mechanics of this, if one of you fails this roll, one of you who has trust can give the other person a boost to their roll equal to that trust. So I don't know if Louis, mechanically it might be better for Louis, because if they fail they can get a bonus. But if the doctor has more relevant interests, it's just presenting those options to you. So y'all want to investigate the death of Eve, if you can call, or the decommissioning of Eve?
Yeah. All right.
Robots die. Do they dream?
Who's
Who's making the roll?
Do they make rolls in TTRPGs?
I've got interest in space and the supernatural. If this might be the supernatural, which is my suspicion, why would anyone want to kill the sweet, perfect robot? A
I think
not
I
at all
can.
Wayland Yutani robot.
I think you have more stake in this than I do already. Yeah. I think you should roll for Eve.
I think we could skew like supernatural to like just anything suspicious, like murders and things like that, to fit the space theme a little bit more better.
Great. So I'll roll that. And then do I do anything? Because I'm being distrusted. Does something happen there?
Let's see.
And I've got my interest, and then I've got me.
Yes, I think folks who are present in the scene who distrust you are going to be rolling as well. They roll their distrust die, which is a 1d6. Wait, does Louis distrust the doctor?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so Louis is going to roll 1d6, and then you're going to subtract that from your highest die, whatever the result of Louis' roll is, because there is some distrust.
All right. I almost had to roll into the Twitch chat, so instead what I'm going to do is my interest, I have...
Which rolls dice?
Will my piece of just like a flashlight or anything help out here, or the lights are on? I guess now maybe not.
Yeah, I think the lights are on.
All right.
Even if they're emergency lights, I think having the flashlight would help.
Yeah, I failed.
Yeah, you. Wait. Were you paranoid? I don't think you're paranoid.
Oh, I'm not paranoid.
No, so you still get over a 3.
Yeah, but if it's subtracted though.
That's a 4? Right? Oh no, sorry, I was looking at the cumulative. Yes, you do fail. You do fail. You do fail.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You do unfortunately fail.
Whoops.
I think. Louis, what distracts you for a moment here?
I think
You know
just
what,
yeah.
I think I have an idea. I think Eve suddenly like sort of has a little bit of a spark and says like, "No, wait, please!" And like you suddenly are looking at this android and having their death rattle, the recorded death rattle, as like a little bit of spark of energy as y'all are investigating, like some sort of spark happened, and then just fades away again. But as you turn around, you just see the doctor is missing, and like his little flashlight buddy is like on the ground, just spinning.
Doc?
You hear some clattering down the hallway.
I have a shovel.
You peek around the corner, and you see this long streak of blood, and you see a chef's knife just dropped in the middle of the hallway.
Can I run to see if I can find any, just anybody or any body from this, see if I can catch somebody?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Let's see if you can catch somebody.
Just run and look. Does fitness work into that?
Yes, I think fitness does work into this.
All right, so that's 2d6?
Sounds like that.
Okay, excellent.
1d6 base, and then your interest.
All right, excellent. 4.
And nobody else is present that doesn't distrust you, so nobody can negate that. So a 4 does succeed. I think what you do see is that you get. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh, the ghosts.
There it goes.
You feel.
Shit.
You feel a presence. You feel as if somebody is watching you, and as you run back, you turn the corner into Shields, and you do see the doctor is like bent double over on one of the railings, just bleeding out.
what the fuck? She's gonna just go like, Lou's just gonna like run over to him and be like, should I stop the bleeding? Are you? I'll take you to the infirmary. And he, oh wait, we have a communicator. He'll actually be screaming, somebody come help. The doctor is dying. I know it's suspicious, but this is just what happened. Please come help.
I think the doctor's
Louis,
just
what-
gurgling.
Oh no.
Louis, what happened?
I have no idea. Eve's also dead.
See, I
Did you
told you
say-
it was Louis.
Right.
Louis said.
Right.
Louis.
Did you?
Yeah, okay. Where are you?
I tell them where I am, but I forgot where I am.
In Shield. JR.
The taped X's on the glasses are choice.
Oh.
Just
Amazing.
blue
Really
masking
committed
tape.
to the role.
Just
Blue
Great
masking
blue
tape for
masking
Dr.
tape.
Blue.
ironic, because Dr. Blue isn't the one that wears blue.
Yeah. So the doctor is gone.
I would say that because Louis put that on the comms, Marina's like, damn it, I thought for sure he was the one who was doing this. And we're probably like pretty
Yeah.
close, right? At this point,
Yeah.
Yeah,
feel
I
like
think you're very
you're
close.
so we can probably drop out of the vents and go try to meet Louis, I would say is
Yep.
what we probably do.
Yeah.
Or at least
I
that's what I
think-
do.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
drop as you're approaching the vents to shields. I think you hear like sort of very hurried steps on the vents, like pretty far ahead of you, in out of the frame of your flashlights.
Do we see anything like come into the vents or anything? Like, do we hear anything?
No, I don't think you. I think you see that the vent is like the vent grate is like swinging open as you approach it.
Mm.
Hmm.
Cian pulls out their BB gun, like, and like momentarily, I don't know which one of us is in front. If they're in front, they'll like have it out, and they're like, "All right, I'll protect us."
So can we tell if something came into the vent or not, or like left? Do we know?
Something came into the vent and then ran down the vents.
Ew.
Is the implication here?
Okay. I want to follow.
Okay, you go chase the thing.
Yep. I want to be the next one who dies.
Cian, are you also going to chase?
Yeah, I think they do too. Like for a second, they
Come
want
on, rock climbing, buddy.
yeah, like they want to, like, because they're like, but it's probably Louis, but maybe I don't know. They're usually so fast. They could go from vent to vent so quickly.
Louis, I think you hear them discussing this up in the vents. Do you jump up the vents and join them?
Oh my god, scared.
Yeah, it's time for the vents.
Okay. You're all chasing.
No.
Y'all chasing the culprit in the vents. Y'all have vented. Who is leading the charge? Who would like to make this roll to chase down the?
I have fitness and
suspect.
adventure. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Those both sound very relevant.
I'm finally gonna see a ghost.
So I think Marina is going to be rolling. That sounds like 3d6. Do either Cyan or Louis distrust Marina?
I don't.
Yeah, I think nobody either.
Okay.
Like nobody distrusts or trusts.
I mean, that sounds like a good place to be honest.
At least you don't get the minus.
So go ahead and roll 3d6 for me.
You take the highest one. Is that right? Is that how that
Yep,
works?
just the highest one.
I got a 5.
5 does work. You are able to chase down this suspect. You do see that they exit from into the cafeteria, and then as you drop out, you do see a couple people down there. So you've narrowed it down to a couple suspects. You've narrowed it down to the counselor, to the engineer, or to the administrator. And I think as y'all like come down and start pointing fingers, like it was one of you. I think we cut back to Reed and the security chief. You have fixed the light problem. What are you doing next, Reed? What is the next piece on the agenda?
So if the doctor's dead,
Doctor's dead.
yeah, the other suspicious person. So okay, so first of all, you were wrong. Wasn't the doctor? I told you. Second of all, Louis is suspicious as all get out. Yeah, so I think we need to track them down. Because they're also the person who would have seen what happened. So, are you gonna come with me and figure this out, or?
Oh yeah, I'm not
Okay.
leaving you. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Good, because I don't have a weapon. I don't like weapons. I did not know. I can't fight. I cannot defend myself.
Clearly, yes. I can see that. Well, let's
Okay. Is that a dig on me? All right. Wow. Okay.
So you wanna go and lead to you wanna go find Louis, and I think do y'all broadcast that you've chased down a culprit into the cafeteria? Yes. Okay. So Louis, is your presence known in the cafeteria? Like that you are in the cafeteria?
Yeah, he'll just be.
Yeah. So they go up to the cafeteria, and Reed, as you're following Security Chief Sierra into the cafeteria, you just hear shouting. Everybody's shouting and pointing at each other.
Sienna's pointing their gun mostly at Louis, but every once in a while at some of the other people.
I think Marina thinks it's the administrator, because the administrator would have known about the poison, like the chemicals, because they needed approval to get them.
Right.
Okay, there's a lot more people in here than I was expecting.
Marina,
right.
would you like to make a formal accusation against the administrator?
Yeah, I will actually.
Okay. I think that might be our role, like trying to convince everybody it was the administrator.
Okay.
Do you have any relevant skills or interests or qualities?
I don't think so.
Okay. So
Fitness?
That's just 1d6.
I'm not sure. I am at.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I do not think fitness is. I don't think you could stretch that far, even with fitness. So it sounds like you are going to be rolling 1d6.
All right.
Does anybody here? Nobody here
5.
distrusts Marina, correct?
No.
You got a 5. Okay. I think. Let's see. How do I fictionalize this? So you are closer to the truth. But let's see. I think the administrator does say something very suspicious, but I don't think it's confirmed to anybody. So they say like, I told Welker that they shouldn't have had those, but he really insisted, and against my better judgment, I gave him permission to get those chemicals, to requisition the chemicals, and you know what? I saw that he had them really stored unsafely, and I confiscated them from him, but no. Don't look at me that way. No, stop it. Don't point fingers. That's rude.
No, I have my arms crossed. Like,
No, she's like, she is very much like in panic mode. Just like, no, stop. Just.
Sian starts pointing after being told not to.
What would anybody else want to try and get closer to the center?
Ooh,
who wants to win?
I mean, I want to win.
Like,
I always want to win.
You win by rolling.
So, this is. Could I try and like investigate against Louis?
Investigate against Louis?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Okay. So I was just like, okay, so what happened with you and the doctor then?
Oh, okay. So I was coming to, be investigator or whatever, I guess. And the doctor came running with this fucking thing of blood, and it was weird. And then he pointed out Eve, who was dead. And so
You
we decided
said-
we were. Yeah, I said that. You guys didn't hear me.
Okay.
I know it was a lot. So we were gonna team up and take care of it together. And then I guess he died, which is weird. But
How did he die?
it was like, I don't think I can even answer that. It happened so fast, which is super suspicious sounding. And that's on me.
That
Yeah.
is incredibly suspicious.
And you are very fast. So a
I
fast
am, but it's only because you make me run. I
Yeah.
like it. Don't get me wrong, but
Louis,
I mean, I hate to accuse, but Bowie, you got a lot of history with Welcome.
I think before another accusation gets thrown out, if I can interrupt, I think a roll is required of Reed as they're investigating Louis.
Oh, okay, sorry.
all right.
We can cut back to that.
Yeah, I really don't have anything that can help. I don't
Okay.
think. Just
But
straight up.
I do trust you, so I think I will be able to like give you a bonus after.
If you fail. Does
All
anybody distrust Reed? Anybody alive distrust Reed? Nope. Okay, that's a good place to be.
I'm a trustworthy being.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Well, let's see.
That's
How much
a
trust do you
1.
have, Rue?
That is.
How much? What do you mean?
I think
You
it's
can
only
add
1.
however much trust you have with them.
Oh.
I think it's only 1.
I think it's just one, since I don't
Yeah,
think we helped each other.
Yeah.
You can, if you'd like, you can sacrifice yourself for Reed.
How would I? Would I just shoot Louis?
I don't think so. I think what it would be is like saying something incriminating, something that would make you seem like so suspicious that like the security chief has to lock you up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Aw.
That makes it more exciting.
Yeah.
What would Cian say? I feel like it has to be something with the vents because she's just constantly in there.
Yeah, I think so.
Can she just have like a bunch of blood and stuff on her because she's been like going around the vents? Like,
yeah, you just happen to like sort of undo your spacesuit, like sort of just like it's warm or something. The vents are like off now, or like the air circulation's like getting low. You don't think the O2 might be running right, so you like sort of take like sort of to your undershirt or whatever to a tank top, and like people just see blood there. That's like they didn't notice it before because like all the red emergency lights, but like
yeah, and then
Sierra's just like hang on here, and like she will just like
so hot in here.
she's just gonna like quickly do the grab and turn around and like put your wrist behind your back, and then like put some zip ties around your wrists. Like, hang on, no,
Ow.
we're gonna question you later.
What? Why? What? This BB gun is officially mandated to me. I can have it.
And I think you're saying that as you're being walked out of the scene over to the security office to be detained.
God, I thought we were pointing fingers at Louis. What's happening?
I think
don't believe it for a second.
you've been handed over to one of the deputies to be brought over to the security.
Fingers at me?
So,
Yeah,
Louis, I think you're making accusations at Engineer Bowie.
Yes. I think I can add the drama debate to it because he's just like sort of flourishing and really passionate. And I think he's just but he's like not doing it to accuse him. He's just like, the tragedy, the loss of love. I get why you would do it, Bowie. I do. I understand. It's the passion. So I think you can use the drama debate like that.
Yeah, you've got the doctor's blood on your hands.
I'm just trying.
And also some milk.
How does that
milk and
help?
blood everywhere.
How does
weird.
that help work? Does that
Help works let's see, if you'd like to help, let me scroll up to these brand new rolls, fresh from the designer themselves.
from the oven.
Where was help?
That
Another player may offer help in a scene with a relevant interest, item, or quality, adding 1d6 to the roll. You still cannot roll more than 3d6. If the player succeeds the roll, both players mark +1 trust rating for each other.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything that would be. Yeah, because I've only got supernatural, fitness, and adventurous for my things. But I feel like she would want to point the finger at somebody else because Sans her her buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That was my reasoning behind it, at least.
You could fictionally assist, but like not mechanically.
Okay.
Yeah. So Louis, you're making an accusation against Engineer Bowie.
Yes, that's 2d6 then.
If you
Okay.
adding the drama.
Yes. Excellent.
That is a
Oh,
5.
5.
I think a 5 does work. You do proceed at 1 ring closer to the truth. Engineer Bowie is going to incriminate themselves by saying, like, I know I said some really incriminating things. I messaged Welker some really, it was just a heated moment. I can't, you can't hold that against me. He said some really hurtful things, and like, no, you hang on, you shouldn't be looking at like my personal messages. Hang on, let's not. And the security chief Sierra will also detain them and pass them off to a deputy to be brought to the security office. Is like, no, hang on, no, this is bullshit. You can't. They're just being brought in down the hall, down a dark red hallway.
Marina's gonna say,
out of sight.
So, like, we found some of the bodies, but has anybody found Welker's body?
Welker was supposed to. He wanted to get out of here, but we haven't found him yet.
Okay.
Is that something you'd like to press? Is that something you'd like to investigate, Marina?
Yeah, I mean, it is
Okay.
definitely.
Like, sort of interrogate everyone else as to the possible location of Welker's body.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make another roll for me. You've got like over a 50% chance of success.
Can I use
5.
the help mechanic? Oh, yeah, never mind.
Let's see. You rolled a 5, you said?
Yeah.
There you go. I think what you do get is that I think the administrator is going to say, well, you know what? I think I had heard of the disposal being jammed up, really, and you don't think that no, nobody would. Not in the disposal. No, nobody could do that to another person.
Oh, gross.
That's
Oh, I'm gonna
like,
have to.
they also get like a very nauseous look on their face in this deep red light. So let's see. It looks like Marina is closest to the truth right now. They are 1 away from the truth. I think you have determined that somehow, like, the disposal has something to do with the garbage disposal has something to do with Welker's missing bodily form, mortal coil.
I think maybe we should go investigate.
Okay. I assume you would like everyone to come along with you so that everybody can keep track on each other?
Yeah, pretty much.
Would you rather leave potential murderers behind?
Yeah, no.
Okay. So everybody goes down to, let's see, where would it be? It'd probably be the reactor. They dispose in the reactor using the natural, like, sort of heat emissions, and you do go down there. You walk this very tense walk down this long red hallway, and you hear you feel the vibrations. Like, this is normal. usually, but in this situation, it feels like extra dramatic. You feel the vibrations of the reactor and the engine. You feel the heat coming off. You hear the sounds of the mechanics, and you're walking down there. You open up the doors and into this large room where the central mechanics where the whole system gets run off, and you see bright yellow light coming off of the reactor as normal. And you walk in, you walk up to the disposal. You do find evidence that of you do find some, let's say, some blood is probably the most tame thing you find of evidence on like the lip of the disposal. Maybe a bit of hair.
Um,
Nasty.
I
So, that's cool.
Hang on. Wait. The security chief says, Louis, don't you have access to the reactor? Isn't this part of your rotation to clean up?
Yeah, the whole place is my rotation to clean up, bud. I'm like the only janitor here.
And you too, Reed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to fix the wiring.
Yeah. And security chief Sierra like starts to take a couple steps back, puts her hand on like something on her waist.
Okay, hold on. I've been with you this whole time.
Yeah, real good excuse, real good alibi, huh?
What?
I mean, it is a pretty good alibi.
You're the one who was with the doctor when he died, Louis.
No, I'm saying you have a good alibi. I don't. I'm. Yeah, no. It definitely, it really wasn't me. But it looks very suspicious.
I think the counselors try like sort of very pensively reaches out to the security chief, like, Chief, come on, let's think about this. Let's not do anything drastic here. Who wants to do something?
I'm gonna
As this
hit
is
my
going on, I
comm
think
and
you
say,
can- Yep,
Cian,
go
are
ahead.
you there?
Can I answer, or did it get
I-
confiscated?
No, you are detained in the security office. I don't think you can reach your communicator at this point.
You just see her like kicking around and stuff.
Yeah, just kicking around outside in the vacuum of space.
Oh no. She's flying away.
Oh, I don't want to do this. Can I look into the disposal at all to see if there's any more clues about anything?
I do not think so. I think you've got as much clues from the disposal as you possibly can.
Okay.
And I think as this is going on, as you're like sort of thinking and contemplating, we get this like very slowed down moment. We do hear like suddenly like the alarm, like the klaxons of the alarms, and you do look at your communicators. And it does says that the oxygen supply has been compromised and needs to be repaired immediately.
Right, I'm gonna do that. Admin's right there. I gotta put in the code there. I'm not moving unless you are like, I don't know what you have. I'm afraid of it. But we're all gonna die if we don't get that oxygen going.
And the counselor's like, Sierra, come on, listen to them. You know, let's go. Let's all go together. And then Sierra's like, very like frustrated, like, you go first.
Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine.
All of you, all three of you, all four of you.
Okay, let's go. I'm going. And
Let's
I
go.
just like very steady paced. Because Reed is a coward. It just very steady pace just goes along and goes to admin and just punches in the code.
Let's see. Hang on. Please roll. Okay. So I think you do punch in the code. You do like sort of you get it to stabilize. It's not repaired. There's some critical failure in there, and you have to really dig into the mechanics to figure out what's wrong. But like it's just like you're not gonna die in the next 10 minutes.
Okay. So 10 minutes tops. So if you want to figure this out really quick, because
Yeah.
is anybody not in this room that could have messed with oxygen?
How about I just lock up all of you and save myself the trouble?
Then you're gonna die.
I'll take my chances and wait for the ship.
In the next 10 minutes?
I'll figure it out.
Literally, completely, it is your funeral. And all of ours.
Who wants to do something? Y'all are very close to either winning or losing this thing.
I mean, I'm trying to think of like what question I would ask, or
Like, oh,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna ask. Was anybody here married to Welker?
I think nobody was married, but like they were the affair, quote unquote, is just like a sort of like them seeing multiple people at the same time. Like you would know, or like just based off interactions, basic interactions. Nobody was married.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Welker.
then I'm gonna just similar thing. I'm gonna see if I can see what may have happened to oxygen.
Okay, you do see that like some sort of like slow timed like what's like small firework type device like on a slow fuse was placed in the fuse box to mess with the power as well, similar to communications before where it was like destroyed very unprofessionally, but like this is like they had some sort of tool to help like do that while they weren't there, possibly.
Okay.
You do see that Sierra does pull out a knife. It looks like a combat sort of knife. Like that's what they seem to be reaching for on their hip.
Okay. And has anybody said like that the chef knife was missing from that pack?
Marina, would you have mentioned it? I think you were the core one on the chef knife.
I don't think I've mentioned it.
Okay.
I don't recall as well. You can
Yeah,
now.
I don't think so, because I haven't figured out like a good reason why she would mention it.
In that case,
I mean, people are dying. A
I
couple
mean,
people have been stabbed so far.
Yeah, I think if she had known that it had shown up in the doctor's murder or nearby, it would have been
Right.
Okay.
But she's kind of like, she's like, yeah.
So in that case, I'm turning to the security officer. I'm like, wait, that's a giant knife.
Yeah, what, you think I'm going to bring a gun on a space station?
The communication wires were cut with a big knife.
Could it have been a chef's knife? I'll say it at this point, I think.
I mean, maybe it was just a big knife, like just somebody
Because
just hacking
Welker's
at
chef's
it.
knife was missing.
Oh. Has
Louis,
anybody seen that then? Who's got
Louis, what's happening with Louis in this scene?
Mostly confusion. He just keeps going over the same 4 facts, like, does that mean anything? And he's just gonna sort of bring up again, and sort of like look in people's faces for like a possible answer. He's like, so was anyone here sleeping with Welk that shouldn't have been?
Wow.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's important, but just in case it is, I want to put it out there as a group.
Sounds like that's a role trying to get some information out of other folks.
Let's go. Let's go.
Just see if anyone goes like, ugh, or. Let's see. So 1d6 or 2d6 or no d6?
1d6 base, and then if you have any interests or qualities or gear that would help you in this interrogation, so to speak.
I guess maybe drama and debate again. I don't know if that's like sort of a base thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're leaning into the stat. You're asking questions, trying to get people to answer you.
4.
4. Does anybody distrust Louis?
I do.
Can you please roll 1d6 for me, please?
I will do so.
Oh shit!
Oh no! Oh wow! Oh no!
Oh, the distrust is strong.
So, what sort of accusations does Reed throw Louis' way?
So, what? Sleeping with Welker? Were you getting jealous about Welker?
No, he's a fine guy, but no. What are you saying?
You creeped out Bowie about
Hey,
Welker. I think they would beg to differ.
That's fair.
They came on
That's
comms
fair.
screaming about it, and now you're still asking around about Welker. What are you?
Oh, where's Welker?
hiding
Nobody knows.
Well, we know now. He's in the reactor disposal.
Well, before that, though.
Can
Yeah,
how long has what does Marina know about the counselor?
what does Marina know about the counselor? The counselor is like she cares for like the well-being of everybody. Like she basically like she's got a degree in psychology and like some administration and like sort of general care for folks. Takes care of the mental state of everybody. Like make sure everybody like recognizes general like cultural holidays and things. Keep spirits up, things like that. Trying to keep like the human element like sort of lively on this isolated station. I think as Marina is sort of thinking about the counselor, trying to rack her brain, I think we do see that the chief does in fact arrest Louis, and Louis gets taken away by a deputy as an accusation has been made, and fortunately they have failed to make an accusation or investigate into who was sleeping with Welker.
Marina's going to ask the counselor, did you know about Welker, why Welker requisitioned the chef's knife and those chemicals?
GM level. Tishian requisitioned the chef's knife.
Oh,
Well,
that's
yeah,
right. Tishian
separate
did.
person. Mm-hmm. But so if you're asking about Welker, the counselor says, no, unfortunately I don't. I know that Mr. Welker seemed to be frustrated with some experiments they were conducting. Wasn't getting the results they were hoping for. Why? I'm not sure how that seems relevant. It sounds like you're trying to pry the counselor for some information. Maybe not exactly that, but are you trying to like get them to sort of admit to something?
Yeah, I am definitely.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll some dice. I think just 1d6 is relevant to your interest in qualities.
Oops. Only I got to roll a d6. I mean a d12. I got a 3.
Oh no, unfortunately not. I think the counselor is able to sort of finagle the conversation onto like why do you seem so You seem to be making a lot of accusations, Marina. You seem to be pointing a lot of fingers here.
I mean,
You don't seem to be accounting for your motivations or or whereabouts too much. You seem to be focused more on drawing attention to others.
well, because I know I didn't do it.
I'm sorry. Chief, I think I'm going to have to recommend that you detain Miss Marina here for further questioning.
Wait a minute. You haven't recommended that anybody else be detained.
No, you seem to be acting very suspiciously for the current situation, Miss Marina. I'm sorry. That
Is
is, I
Louis?
think
Is Louis still here?
Louis has been detained and taken away as well.
Oh, so it's Reed.
Yes, it's just Reed.
Reed, she did it. I say as they're dragging me away.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. You get dragged away, and down to you, Reed.
Oh no.
Reed, Sierra, and the counselor. The counselor whose last name is Simmons. Reed, Simmons, Sierra.
Okay. So I know what I literally just said about you and the knife. But I'm inclined to believe Marina. What you're counselor, you're supposed to know all of what's happening on this ship, and like if crewmates tell you about things, you should know, right?
Yes, of course. Everybody, patient confidentiality, of course. But yes, everyone comes to me and discusses their issues. I believe you visited me once or twice. Might have been mandated visits, but still.
Okay, one of them was, and then I chose to keep coming back. So listen,
Right.
This is a matter of life and death. Can't you just, like, we're all gonna die if we can't know what Welker was doing and what was up with them.
I'm sorry, Reed, but patient confidentiality, even post-mortem, is still maintained.
Right.
Unless you're able to get some sort of subpoena, I unfortunately cannot break that confidence.
Okay. So, Sierra, you're seeing how they would rather condemn us to die than give us some information, right?
So you're trying to accuse the counselor? Sounds like.
Yes.
Yes. Please go ahead and roll for me.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. I don't know if this would count for empathetic for taking care of someone.
Empathetic. I think.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I think you're trying to like sort of level with Sierra and get
Okay.
them to understand you, and you're trying to understand them, and sort of like, hey, think about your own well-being here, and sort of reach out
Okay.
on that kind of level. So I think empathetic would apply.
Okay, here we go. Please let RNGesus be on my side. No! That is a 1 and a 2.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh.
I am sorry. I think it just finally gets this year. Like, you two, you're just gonna start pointing at the counselor. Really, the counselor?
Well, I trust you marginally more than I trust the counselor. At least I've seen you for the last, for goodness knows how long.
Right, and there's been how many issues with how many mechanical failures now? Who knows the mechanics here better than you? who can vouch for like that? Who really knows that if the wires were cut by a knife? It's
You think if I would? Do you think if I would cut wires, I would cut them with a knife?
I don't. And the counselor is just going to be like, Sierra, you know what? I hate to do it. I hate to break I hate to break patient confidentiality, but I know that Welker and Reed were seeing each other.
What? No. That is a filthy lie. That is a complete and utter lie.
And Sierra's just like, I don't want to hear it. No, hey, no, stop. And she's going to detain you. And what are your last words as you're being brought down the hallway?
Well, somebody better text my partner back home because I was not cheating on them with Welker. Not my type. Not me.
And I think that we get a hard cut to black. We get we get some space sounds, and we see some we see a couple things floating out in the very far distance of space. A couple very colorful little specks of light as we see that happen, and then they suddenly like flash as they catch some light as the space station just blows up out of self just damning itself as
Self-loathing.
but in the end the counselor did get what they wanted. The counselor was able to get revenge on the entire station, and they were able to get away with it for the most part. Unfortunately, among us there is only the counselor. Let's what does it look like for those back home, remembering as those back home related or familiar with our spacefaring voyagers? What do they think on the news that they receive once I think the news only says that the station has been sort of destroyed in a terrible unavoidable accident is what the company's going to say.
Dang. Rude.
There is a message board forum, like a virtual. I mean, it's the future, right? It's a virtual message board forum where the Dr. Blue's last track was sent before they died, and boy, does it go viral. I think imposter syndrome like becomes a viral earworm and gets more than 3 billion space views on space YouTube.
Imposter syndrome. Jesus Christ. It wasn't done marinating.
But sometimes it doesn't need to marinate very long.
Let's hear what do the folks back home think of the news when they see that next that Reed was caught in this terrible unavoidable accident, this gas leak that doomed the whole station and its crew.
I'm sorry, I just looked at Twitch chat and my actual IRL partner just made a space pun. Nala. Nala.
Oh, on Neptune. Yes.
So that's thrown me off a bit.
We can circle back if you like.
Yes, please.
Okay. Louis, what's Louis's closest relation think when they see on the news that they were caught up in this accident?
I think not all of Boston, but he's got a pretty big family in Boston, and he's got like 3 huge dogs, and they're all very sad.
Oh no.
They have like a nice little block party. Somebody takes the dogs in, obviously, because they're family. But I don't think anyone on his block thinks anything bad of him ever. He's just like, man, he was so handy and so clean. We love him.
Artist clean.
I think all of Boston does mourn for you, even if they don't know it.
They all felt something that day.
They all did. Marina, what does it look like when who is your closest relation and how they react to the news of your passing?
It is my supernatural urban fantasy paranormal romance book club.
Oh,
And they're like, it was totally space vampires. They can say whatever they want, but I'm sure it was space vampires. I think we should get to the bottom of it. And they channel their grief into getting to the bottom of what actually happened on that space station.
Oh my god.
Skater Boy and See You Later, or no, what's it? Skater Girl and See You Later Boy. They're leading on that message board and getting the red tape. Or the red
They say
string,
the GM is going to be so sad that he killed off all the characters because now he's going to do a whole new adventure.
And let us see. Rue, Sayan, what is your closest relation sort of take of the news of your passing?
So the camera closes in on a cave where just like a big bear family is just crawling around, and that's that Cian was raised by bears, and why she wears bear ears.
This is good content.
Jesus.
And they mostly don't realize because they're bears.
Sometimes not knowing makes it easy is the easiest way, you know.
Every once in a while, they look up at Ursa Minor and think of you.
Mm-hmm. Cian's ghosty though is still floating around there.
And Reed, what does your friends and family make of your passing?
So
Not knowing
it's
the
just-
terrible truth.
just the very small group, just their partner, Ciaran, and like some immediate family, and they have like 3 cats together, and they just have a small little like memorial thing, and then just kind of have to move on.
And I think that's where we get we fade out and the music fades out and we get to cut to credits. And after credits, we get a preview of the next in this series of like 32 movies.
Oh my god.
Next time on Adventure Strikes Back.
Oh man.
Yeah, and that's it. Unfortunately, all our little beans died. All our little beans got mostly accused, invented, or killed, and the bad folks got away with it. Unfortunately, sorry to say. Round 2. I'll drop the room code in chat.
I should have just ran at the counselor and pushed her into the thing.
Garbage disposal.
Yeah, exactly.
That could have been the move.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it, but then afterwards I was like, oh man, fitness is actually something I would have got an extra D6 for. And at least it would have all been alive, even if I am certain that Marina would have gone to jail.
Thinking the counselor, I was thinking the administrator.
Yeah, I was.
I know Marina was thinking the administrator too. Yeah.
And then I was like, no. And then, well, I couldn't decide if it was the counselor, if both the counselor and the chief security officer were like together on it. Like that's what I think at the end, what I couldn't quite decide.
It was the counselor and the engineer.
Oh, the engineer was involved.
Mhm. That's why all the mechanical failures kept happening.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It does.
I hadn't thought of it.
Well, thank you so much for playing with me. Thank you, my friends, new friends and old. Thank you all for joining us. Those of you in chat who have stuck around this whole time, thank you for joining us. Remember, while we're having fun, while this is good fun, and we're making all these good jokes and puns, we are raising funds for Extra Life, who are donating directly to children's charities. And I believe we do still have the giveaway going on in chat, where if you enter the key phrase, the AOL key search term, adventure, you
It's
can.
over.
Yeah.
Oh, Rowan.
Yeah.
That seems weird and biased, but I'm not gonna.
We did raise $470, which is pretty flippin' awesome.
You did
That
raise
is
$470.
That's where we end.
Just a little bit more than really nice. I think for a while it was like $469, something like that.
Yes.
Or no, it was $420 for a while, and then we got a couple of big donations. Thank you so much for helping donate to a good cause. Thank you so much for joining us in all this good fun.
Oh my God,
And
$495.
Whoa, what?
$4.95.
Yay.
Oh my God.
Who's got $5? Who's got enough for
Oh
a Big
my
Mac?
God.
It's got a latte price.
Oh, well, thank you all so much for joining us, and we will be back tomorrow with more really good programming. I think a couple of folks in here in this show, our friend Alex Guerrero is going to be running a show tomorrow. You can you can never leave when you like. It's whatever the lyric is in that Eagle song. It's a game
Hotel
by
California.
yes.
You
Yes, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Going to be run by Marn, a great designer, and they're going to run a game for a really good time tomorrow. And so please tune back in, help us raise some more funds, and watch a good show. And let's hear from our friends who have joined us today and helped out raise some money. Let's start with, to my stage right, Rue, please introduce yourself and tell us where people can find you, what you're up to.
Sure. I'm Rue. I was seeing. You can find me on Twitter at Cherry Drop, which I think is like above me, where I'm linking to lots of cool things. I am on All Nerds Here's All BIM podcast, Post-Colonial Faction Fantasy, Haven, A Land Reclaimed with Kevin and JR. We do awesome stuff there. You're also causing chaos on that show. Yeah. That's everything.
And stage below, JR. What are you up to? What do you do?
I am JR. You can find me on Twitter. I write role-playing game articles for the Bell of Lost Souls. I'm ecstatic about the fact that we're at a nice palindromic 505 raised right now.
Yes.
Putting us like 4 days into this? Like there's still, this goes till Sunday, right? Within spitting distance of the ultimate goal. Y'all are amazing. That's so generous, folks. I run Haven, a Land Reclaimed, an actual play live stream of Legacy Free from the Yoke, which Rue has lovingly described. I throw crap mechs at Kevin and nice things at everyone else, and now you can see why. And if you're looking for something spooky to do this weekend, I'm going to be in a virtual haunted house put on by the Improv Theater that I performed at because we do virtual theater right now since everything is on lockdown. There's an event called Nightmare Halls. I'm going to link that in our chat so that Jess can cheat Nightbot for me. But you can find me doing that tomorrow, Halloween night. It's just a perfect thing to segue from Hocus Pocus to like Beetlejuice. And that's me.
Yep, and the layout has changed. So next we have Robin, I think.
Hi,
What do you do?
everybody. I want to say thanks. This is the first time I'm playing with all of these people, so that was really fun. And my trust and distrust worked out really well, where I trusted Cian, who was like a great enabler of every maybe not so great decision that Marina had about everything, which was really fun. And thanks to the doctor for being so suspicious and being so worthy of her distrust. You can mostly find me on Twitter at Kikusk. You can find me on Twitch on Milady Seto's channel this weekend, actually, tomorrow night and on Saturday night, and Dark Aardvark's channel, playing some stream games starting the Tuesday after the election, because we all decided that we couldn't do both. So that's about it. Thanks, everybody.
And next we have Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah B. You can find me on Twitter. I am Sarah B. Strange, and I actually do have other games to shout out, which is kind of a wild thing to say. But I am on another charity stream tomorrow, starting at 4:30. We'll be playing Black Mass, which is set in the Salem witch trials, which I'm very excited about. That'll be on Off the Table. And starting next Friday, I'm going to be on a stream of we're playing The Witcher TTRPG, and this short campaign is titled "You Can't Teach an Old Wolf New Tricks," and it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm very excited for it. So, stay gold.
Thank you. And we have Alex.
Hey there, I'm Alex. I played Louis. I don't have anything to drop. I had a great time, everybody.
Hey. Thanks for joining us. So, Louis is so good. I am technically best-selling author Kevin T and Wulong Win. You can find me. You can unfollow me on Twitter at the links in chat. You can buy my games there though. Give me money. Don't like listen to what I say, but give me money. And you can, if you really want a certain stretch goal to hit on one of your Kickstarters, put me at the one right above it. So you don't have to pay me, but you get what all the other stretch goals. That's my deal. I'm on that show on All Nerds Here on Wednesdays. I'm here a lot. That's about it. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for giving us money for charity. Y'all good beans. Y'all get to live. These beans don't get to live, but y'all do.
Good beans.
Yeah. And looks like we are going to be rating Off the Table. No? Looks like we're not going to be rating Off the Table. We're rating another teammate of Jess's on the Rainbow Arcade team who is raising funds for the Trans Lifeline. I Geeked Out. That's I Geeked Out. All together.
Heck yeah, get those channel points.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for giving us money. Thanks for giving money to kids.
I'm waving.
Princess. Oh no.